step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
A very good morning to you, South Africa. The time now is 6 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. Welcome to it. My name is Jamie Dominic. It is going to be a tantalizing Tuesday here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And why, you may ask, because we've got some scrumptious meals on our menu today. Get this, we're going to be making some apple bread, some tumula yellowtail, as well as spaghetti bolognese. All of those is coming to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. So please sit back, relax. Now then, we also know the mid-year slump and stress can get the better of us, but we're going to push through, guys. We're going to push through. We are bringing you ways to cope during this time and better manage your cortisol levels. So again, sit back, relax. We're going to be entertaining, and we'll see you after this.
It's my feel good breakfast show.
The whole show again. Okay, we've got a 3-seconder coming in. Do a good morning post, and then we're going for the news.
Jamie, if you are going to go for the news, then you're going to...
It's my feel good breakfast show. It's my feel good breakfast show.
We're doing this again. A very good morning to you, South Africa. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we are back. It is another tantalizing Tuesday here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. If you weren't awake, maybe you are awake today, because why? We've got some scrumptious meals on our menu today. Get this, we're going to be making some apple bread, some tumula yellowtail, as well as spaghetti bolognese. Starting off the Tuesday right. And then we all know it is that time of the year. It is the mid-year slump, and stress can sometimes get the better of us. But no, we are pushing away all the stress today, because we are pushing through, and we are going to be bringing you ways to cope during this time, and also just better manage your cortisol levels. Sometimes it's with a good laugh, sometimes it's with a good smile, but guess what? For the next 3 hours, all you have to do is sit back, relax, get informed, get entertained, and smile. And someone who makes me smile is the Carl Wasty himself. Good morning.
I believe in second chances, and you did that beautifully, Jamie Lee. That's what I'm talking about. Welcome. My name is indeed Carl Wasty. It's lovely to have you on the show today. It's Expresso and S3. So let's, make sure it's a feel-good breakfast show by asking you a quick question on social media. And that is, what is the funniest thing that you ever stressed about? I mean, the thing is, we've had so many little moments in our lives where we thought, why did I even stress about that? Why did I stress about the color of my hair that one day? Why did I stress about my fingernails? Why did I stress about the color of my teeth? You know, we do it all the time. But throughout the the entire show today, we're going to bring in the experts to make sure that you manage stress, because at this time of the year, as we run into the second half, it's important for us to be nice and balanced, nice and calm, and take on the success that we require, which is so, so important. Personally, when it comes to stressing out, I think that in my time, it was pretty much, I love coffee, and there was this one time where the yellow teeth thing got to me so much that I was like, where do I get the whole teeth whitening, which is very expensive. But I mean, it was very silly, because the thing is, if it's a smile, it doesn't matter what color it is, as long as it's a smile over there. So share on your side, Expresso Facebook page. We'd love to hear it, and share it on the show as we give you some stress tips as we jump in to some news from around the world. Here is Jamie Lee.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wasty. Starting with your national news. Now, the first consignment of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine for South Africa will be leaving Aspen's factory in Gqeberha this afternoon. Now, it will be distributed across the country and made available under contracts between Johnson & Johnson, the National Department of Health, and other stakeholders. Now, some of the vaccines will also be made available to the African Union Task Force for the mainland. Now, the distribution of the vaccine is an important milestone for South Africa. Now, CEO Stefan Saad says Aspen is proud of the role it plays in vaccine manufacturing. And then looking to news further abroad, Tunisia's main political parties have accused the president of staging a coup after he sacked the prime minister and suspended parliament. Kais Saied, who also dismissed the defense minister, however, said he acted in accordance with the constitution. The move followed Sunday's violent mass protests over the government's handling of the coronavirus outbreak and the economic and social turmoil. Saied, an independent who was elected in 2019, has had a long-standing feud with the man he has removed, which is Prime Minister Hisham Machichi. And then Afghan civilians were killed or injured at record levels in the first half of this year as violence escalated, the UN said yesterday. A new report says Afghanistan has recorded more than 1,600 civilian deaths so far in 2021. That's a 47% rise compared with this time last year. And the UN warns the number of deaths could rise. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden has said that US combat forces will leave Iraq by the end of this year, though troops will continue to train and advise the Iraqi military. And then next, a man reaches out to wife in hospital by playing an accordion. Now, the video recording of Lucas Dupreez of Mossel Bay in the Southern Cape playing an accordion for his wife Miranda outside the COVID ward of a local hospital continues to touch hearts as it circulates worldwide on social media. Now, the 66-year-old Labour advocate's performance was his way of reaching out to her, whom he has been married to for 44 years. He said after being apart for almost 3 weeks, he turned to his accordion out of desperation, stood outside the COVID ward's window and played the gospel songs she so adored. Now, his touching performance was captured on video by an administration staffer at the hospital, Charlotte Barnard, who shared it on social media, where it immediately went viral. Dupreez received messages from as far as New Zealand and Australia. Now, the good news is that his wife's in a stable condition and improving daily. Now, will he do it again? Absolutely, he says he will play again and again until she's discharged, and we can't wait to see more footage of that. Well, that is where I leave your 6 o'clock news headlines. Here is Carl with a first look at the sports.
Thanks a lot, Jamie Lee. Let's take a look at some of the Olympic action. And if you weren't awake quite early this morning, then let me just update you for a second. Now, Tatjana Schoenmaker won South Africa's first medal at the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games after clinching the silver in the women's 100-meter breaststroke final. That was a lot earlier this morning. Schoenmaker, who broke the Olympic record in the event on Sunday, finished behind 17-year-old Lydia Jacobi of the USA. Defending champion Lily King, also from the United States, bagged the bronze medal. Now, after nearly missing out on the men's 200-meter butterfly semi-final, decorated Olympian Chad Leclos has now booked his place in the final. Competing in semi-final 1 earlier this morning, Leclos led from the start to finish in lane 8 to finish in a time of 1 minute 55.06 seconds. The 29-year-old was third fastest overall and will be chasing the gold medal in tomorrow's 200-meter butterfly final. Still with Olympics and the Blitzboks making us proud once again, the Springbok 7 side set up a showdown with Argentina in the final 8 of the Rugby Sevens tournament at the Tokyo Olympics. The Blitzboks finished at the top of Pool C after winning all of their Pool fixtures. Earlier this morning, South Africa beat the USA 17-12 in the pool decider and will next face Argentina in the quarterfinals after finishing second in the overall ranking. The match between South Africa and Argentina will kick off at 11:30 a.m. today. And at only 13 years old, Japan's Momiji Nishia made history by becoming the first ever Olympic gold medal winner in women's street skateboarding at the 2020 Tokyo Games. Nishia finished first ahead of Brazil's Reisa Leal, also 13, and 16-year-old Funa Nakayama of Japan. Skateboarding is one of 4 sports making their debut in Tokyo, along with surfing, sport climbing, and karate, as part of an attempt to bring the Olympics to younger audiences. And wrapping up with rugby, SA Rugby yesterday announced that the Springboks will start their rugby championship title defence against Argentina at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in August. Now, the Boks will face Los Pumas on 14 and 21 August in the opening 2 tests of the 2021 campaign. The last time South Africa and Argentina played in the friendly city, the Boks scored 4 tries to seal a 37-15 victory. That's a wrap of all of your sporting action. Well done to all of our Olympians as well. Let's take a look at the weather.
Starting with news with regard to climate change, now the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is preparing the most comprehensive assessment on the state of global heating since 2013. Now, in the next fortnight, the scientists will go through their findings line by line with representatives of 195 governments. Experts are predicting the report will be a wake-up call to governments. It's expected that the short 40-page summary for policymakers will play an important role in guiding global leaders who will come to Glasgow, Scotland in November to deal with critical climate questions. Now, this year, though, the panel's report takes place as extreme weather events have shaken the US, Canada, Europe, Australia, and Asia, and the question of the role played by human-induced climate change is being asked more loudly than ever. Now, in 2013, its assessment stated that humans were the dominant cause of global warming since the 1950s. And then, of course, while we love all things South African, because you know local is lekker, we also have a growing international audience who we like to include as well as enjoy learning about their cities and their towns. So this morning, our international city that we are featuring is Decorah, found in the state of Iowa in the USA. Now, rooted in Norwegian culture, this town is home to the country's largest museum about an immigrant group, namely the Vesserheim Norwegian American Museum, and flaunts many beautiful spots in nature, including Dunnings Springs Park. Now, it is also a college town thanks to Luther College. And today, if we have any viewers based in Decorah, you can expect partly sunny conditions with a couple of heavy thunderstorms in the late afternoon. Storms may bring flash flooding and damaging winds, and citizens are urged to remain vigilant. And then bringing it back to South Africa, we have been reporting on the intense cold front that has hit parts of the country. And while scouring the socials, we came across some very cool, pun intended, footage from the Underberg in KZN. Now, first up is the slightly nerve-wracking video of a Jack Russell happily strolling across this frozen river, with his only thought being, why can't I take my usual morning dip? Because you're going to freeze. Well, staying in the Underberg, just take a look at these crazy ice sculptures that have formed on garden furniture and also surrounding plants due to the low temperatures experienced during the cold front. We really should take more time to marvel at the beauty of nature and also make sure that we all do our part to preserve it in the long run. Now, of course, if you have any snow or icy encounters that you experienced over the last week, we are still wanting to see your photos. So even better if there's a snow and a sunrise, who knows? So please head on over to the Expresso Facebook page if you'd like to share your photos with us. But right now, let's have a first look at the temperatures for today on this Tuesday. We start off with you, Polokwane. Do expect a low of 3 today that will peak at 18. If you find yourself in Umbombela, expect a range of 7 to 24. For you, Pretoria, expect a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 18, and Johannesburg, for you, it is a range of 4 to 15. Mahikeng, 118, and then Klerksdorp coming through with -1, peaking at 19 today. Kimberley ranges from 3 to 19, as well as Bloemfontein coming through with -4, peaking at 17. Richards Bay, for you, it is 13-24. Pietermaritzburg can be seen with temperatures that range from 6 to 26, and then South Africa's playground Durban with a low of 14 and a high of 23. Mthatha, for you, it is 4-26. East London ranges from 14 to 28. Craddock can be seen with a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 22. And then, of course, if you do find yourself in Gqeberha, it is 12-27. George, for you, it is 10:24. The mother city, Cape Town, will be experiencing a 70% chance of rain today with a low of 10 and a high of 17. And then for you, Worcester, 5:20. Sutherland coming through with a minimum of 4 and a maximum of 17. And then last but definitely not least, Uppington with a range of 8 to 23. Well, that is where I leave your weather here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thanks a lot, Jamie Lee, for the Vir Mozulu weather. And of course, listen up, Mzansi, because we're actually calling on your generosity. There are only a few weeks left to help Cadbury Dairy Milk ensure that all children can enjoy enchanting African language tales in their mother tongue. And this is one of my favorite campaigns because it connects everybody and makes sure that literacy stands out. The stories that you want to hear is in your own language, but we need your help. So join us this morning and play your part by translating a new word to help co-author a library of African language children's storybooks. Hashtag in our own words. I need some people. Jamie Lee, come through over here. Let's have a discussion. And Tabi, so if you want to come through, you are now welcome to step and sit on my couch.
Hello,
Thank you.
good morning.
I just thought we'd climb into this one together.
Yeah.
What is the word for today? What is the word for today?
I said climb into this climb.
Oh,
Yes.
I wasn't focused.
I know.
I wasn't ready yet.
Exactly. So this is what we do during a week. You know, we have a nice climb toward a successful week.
Yes.
But I would like to jump into a word that is in Sepedi, climb, and it is...
One of my favorite words.
I know, it's beautiful.
Insipedi, because
Yes.
Insipedi is one of my favorite languages. I can almost tell you what.
No, I want you to.
I want you to.
Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
Namela.
Yes.
Namela.
Na.
Namela.
Namela.
I like that as
It's a
well.
Namela.
You know, there's a
It's
connection.
the climb.
There is a connection there as
Yeah.
well. Because I think that if you want to climb somewhere, you have to listen. And Namela sounds like Mamela.
That's it. Namela. Or you can say kalama. Palama.
Kalama.
Kalama.
Palama.
Kalama or palama.
Palama. Which is
love
also
this.
Namela.
Yeah, which is all the same thing.
It's all climb.
So cool.
See, that's why we need you here
Love
sometimes.
This. Okay. On that note, thank you.
man.
Wow. Thanks a lot for helping us climb into that word. I mean, if you have a language to share, I want it to be in your own language and help ensure that we are making sure that children can enjoy enchanting African language tales in their own language. You can visit cadbury.co.za and at Cadbury Dairy Milk SA on Facebook or at Cadbury_SA on Twitter and Instagram to start sharing your words. Namela.
Becoming a parent fills you with delight, nerves, and questions. Now, an original South African app has the answers. Whether you're expecting your bundle of joy or raising a preschooler, the Purity Journey Journal app is a breeze to use. Sign up for free and choose from a host of features, including 24/7 medical assistance, expert tips, and milestone tracker. Sign up to the Purity Journey Journal app for whenever you need some guidance along your parenting journey.
yes, it is your feel-good breakfast show here on S3. It's Tuesday, but it's also Tuesday. Obviously, the temperatures are still low, but spring and summer is around the corner, so you are going to help me choose what I am wearing for today. We know that summer is always about the staples, and we are bringing you two dresses that you're going to help me choose for this Tuesday. Now, one of them being this very vacation-style flowy dress. It has a nice, beautiful V-line. As you can see, both is black, so very much statement pieces. I'm still going to be wearing the polar neck under this one, so it's all about the layers because it is still cold. So this is option number one. And then option number two is this mini peplum dress. Very cute as well, nice and short. I'm going to show you the back, has a little bit of a cut out, gives me a bit of a flare. So both of these are the options for today. So again, staple black dresses for spring, summer 2021. What are you going to help me choose? Is it going to be option number one? Again, flowy, is this the vibe that we're feeling for this Tuesday? Or are we going to do a very simple little mini black dress? But of course, it is up to you, Mzansi. So head on over to our social media pages, choose for option number one or option number two. And the choice is all up to you. Remember to head on over to our social media right now to help me choose my look for this Tuesday.
I'd like to choose the LBD, anything, the little black dress. I think that's the one to go for, but it's entirely up to you. As we get on to our guest performer for this morning, this person has been in the entertainment industry since the tender age of 7 years old, believe it or not. And she has worked with many internationally recognized artists as she's worked to establish her career in the United Kingdom as well as South Africa. Her name is Skylar Clark, and she's joining us as our performer this morning. So let's give her a massive welcome. It's Skylar! Yes! Thank you. Thank you so much. Skylar, we try to bring in the higher crowd. People want budget constraints, but it's all right, though. Welcome, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun show. I can guarantee you that. But let's start off, I mean, at the tender age of 7, you started. How did that work? Because, you know, usually at 7, I was climbing a tree, and I didn't become a tree climbing champion. How did it happen for you?
I was very, very lucky.
Yeah.
Because my mom, she was an author of a book called Get Bushwise. And she actually went on to have a series.
Okay.
And then I kind of got roped into acting in that series from a young age.
Okay, so that's where the child acting thing came from.
That's where the child acting thing came from.
And then you found your voice at, like, where would you say you found your voice? Like 14 years old or so, around that time?
I would say so. I started creating, like, concerts in the living room, and then I think my family knew. Yeah.
I love the concerts in the living room, right? With the ornaments, so like your crowd. Hey, just going, yo, what's up, Vase? What's up? That's the vibe, you know?
Yeah.
And now you move on in your career, and you've shared a stage with people like Vusi Matlasela and Prime Circle and the like. I mean, how has that been to like catapult yourself from having a Vase as your audience to sharing, like stages with artists like those?
I mean, it's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I've just... You know, in those moments, you just try to be as much of a sponge as you possibly can.
Yeah, you have to be.
Absorb as much as you can and just be like, this is incredible, I'm happy to be here, and I'm just going to do my best.
So when it comes to your music's vibe, if anybody has never heard before, I don't like genres per se. I think our music is fluid and it's supposed to be for everybody. It doesn't matter what you pick. But for your side, what do you think would you capture your sound as, if you could?
I would probably say, like, pop, but a little bit to the left, so maybe like alternative pop.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm definitely like a big fan of Billie Eilish, Florence and the Machine.
I like that as well. But that sort of breathy sort of register as well.
Yes.
And then just kind of break out in song if you need to. I like it. That's so cool.
That is nice.
That is amazing. Okay, so next up, I know that UK and South Africa. What's the UK connection when it comes to your career?
So I actually studied in the UK. I did my Bachelor of Honours in Music Industry Practice in the UK.
Music industry practice?
Music industry practice.
I'm very impressed.
Well,
That's
thank you.
amazing. So how did that go, that entire experience being in a different culture, knowing that you're a South African, but then going abroad and also trying to push your music up there must be quite challenging as well.
I think it was definitely a challenge. I really fell back in love with South Africa.
Yeah.
Being in London. I really learned to appreciate how amazing our culture is. As much as I love London culture, but we're so like beautiful and inviting, and we have such a beautiful community in South Africa, which I think has been amazing.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
And now fast forward South Africa. I know you love South Africans as well. We have a lot of talent here. Talents like producer extraordinaire Kosher. And I believe that you've been producing some stuff with Kosher as well. You want to give me some scoops on that?
Oh, yes. Well, I did actually release 2 singles with him last year, which was amazing. It was so great to work with him in the studio. He's got such cool energy.
He does.
Yeah.
He's a close friend, and he's got that mad scientist thing going for him as well.
Yes.
Right? You know, you just want to see him in a lab coat, and he mixes things so fast. Also, the way he produces is very, very fast as well. He can turn around songs so quickly, but I'm glad you had that experience as well. And then 2021, I know this is a tough question, but like, what's the next steps for you?
Well, I'm very excited to be putting out some new music. I've been working alongside Richard Brokenshaw.
Oh, right.
He's a former member of Isochronous, the band.
Yes.
And that's been absolutely amazing. So I'm so excited to put that out into the universe. And I'm going to be playing some of those songs today.
I cannot wait. One thing, though, we have this Good Morning Post and on Expresso's Facebook page, and it's around these funniest things that you've ever stressed over. I mean, you've had experience in South Africa and the UK. Mm-hmm. Can you share, like, the funniest thing that you've ever stressed over?
In the UK?
Well, yeah, let's go UK. I think there'll be better stories there. Because I know there's the underground and the... I believe that some people got that vertigo from looking up at the London Eye. I think it's going to fall over. So,
oh, definitely.
What type of stress did you experience on that side?
I would definitely say the underground is definitely quite stressful. One day I was traveling with my band,
yes,
and we ended up on the complete wrong side of the city for a gig.
Yeah.
But you know what? It was a great bonding experience. It was a great journey, and I feel like, you know, that's what matters.
It's true. And the way you get through that, you got a story to tell, which is wonderful.
Always.
And you're going to tell your story through music on your Feel Good Breakfast show today. Skylar Clark will be performing for you on our Expresso stage, so stick around for that. It is your Feel Good Breakfast show.
Yes, it is your Feel Good Breakfast show. We're live here on SD. Thank you so much for choosing to wake up with us this morning. It's a Tuesday. You know what we like to do on Tuesdays. That's travel. It's hashtag Travel Tuesday. So this morning we lean over to Zimbabwe, just over our border, a country known for its incredible wildlife. You will find that their historical significance, yes, so rich in that. And of course, one of the world's biggest waterfalls, the Victoria Falls, or Mosio Atunya, the smoke that thunders.
Of course, climate change and years of economic instability pushed the country's coffee industry to the verge of complete collapse. Now, with coffee production dwindling to just 3% in 2017 of what it was in the early 1990s. Wow, that's crazy.
Such a huge drop that they did experience there. But of course, we know that Nespresso is working very hard over there through their Reviving Origins limited edition coffees. Nespresso is helping to restore the coffee industry to its former glory by introducing the incredible Tamukamu Zimbabwe, which means awakening of Zimbabwe coffee, which is one of my favorites as well out of this range, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm already enjoying mine in a lungo. Yeah. Are you ready to be awakened by Zimbabwe? Do you want it as espresso or would you like it as a lungo?
I will have it as an espresso, please. We know that espresso is going to hit straight in. We're making a Zimbabwean Arabica. It's got that split roast, which means you're getting that light and short roast for sweetness, you know, that dark and long for balance and smoothness. So you really kind of do get it all in there mixed up. And smooth coffee with fruity, you know, you get those cranberry, red berry, the currant and grape notes coming through there. The flowery and zesty aromas are really are what
I'm
makes
smelling
it stand
yours
out.
and smelling mine.
Can you smell the aromas?
It's so good.
The fruitiness of it.
You're welcome.
And it's amazing with milk too. No, I haven't tasted it. I'll tell you now. I'm going to take my first sip. Wait for it.
Savor the moment.
Oh, thank you, Jamie Lee.
There we go. Just wanted you to say thank you. But it's beautiful, right?
Thank you.
Definitely love that balance. You could add milk if you wanted to.
And it's great with milk.
Great with milk as well, because then you're going to get that zesty flavors coming through. But as is, it's perfect as well.
Now, Reviving Origins is part of Nespresso's big AAA sustainability program. They've been doing great work there, not just about coffee. It's really just about going out there and creating livelihood opportunities in those communities.
Of course, and it's also better farming practices that produce high-quality coffee in a sustainable way. You know, it's all we talk about lately. But also since 2017, more than 2,900 trees have been distributed and machinery per finance.
Which is fantastic. Farmers over those spaces, they've increased their yields sustainably, higher living standards for communities, and that's what it equates to. And that is the kind of Nespresso we love to hear over here. Cheers. We will drink
over there.
That.
And over there.
Over there.
Every time you brew a cup of Reviving Origins coffee,
you're restoring land,
empowering farmers, and supporting livelihoods.
So every sip touches hundreds of lives.
And offers an inspiring taste experience in return.
everybody, to hashtag Tuesday here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, earlier on, I asked you to help me choose between two lovely dresses. Now, let's find out which ones got the most votes. So, obviously, these are the two dresses. We have a beautiful little black dress. Well, both of them are two black dresses. And then a little vacation-style dress. But I want to read what you guys had to say. So, we have Amanda Lee Panty saying, good morning, option number 2, the plain black mini dress. They are here for it. Josephine Pickstone, one of our top fans, says number 2, the little black dress as well. Shireen David saying, good morning, hashtag Tuesday, number 2, which is also that little mini black dress. And Thea, also another regular of the Feel Good Breakfast Show, says number 2 with a winky face. And then Wandile saying number 1, fire flames. Well, I mean, let's just look at these options. Both of them is such a vibe. Both of them is really what I would go for. So again, we had the 2 options, but number 2 is definitely what we're going for, as you have mentioned on our social media. This, I think I would go with some beautiful boots, some combat boots, just to elevate it. Maybe a bit of heels as well. Who knows, you still have to stick around for that. But of course, you can breathe in the new season in lightweight dresses made for long summer days, because summer is almost here. Now you can shop all of them at Woolworths, and this is available in-store, online, or on the app. And it's time now for me to go and change.
All right, so you've picked the outfit for Jamie Lee, and now you are here in the kitchen with us on a Tuesday morning. Do you know why? Because it's time for some kitchen inspiration.
Fruits of the Forest from Clover just added real cereal crunch. A symphony of fruit, oats, seeds, and granola crunch. Fruits of the Forest. Real fruit, real cereal, real taste.
Made with love by Clover.
Well, here's one thing we know. We all know the saying, an apple a day, and some might say this goes hand in hand with bread, so why not merge the two? Our Fruits of the Forest apple bread combines the goodness of nature's candy, and yes, it'll make you break things sometimes, just like rattle the kitchen a bit. It does bring the nature's candy into one Moorish tea time treat, and that's what we're making this morning. A treat. There's always time for a treat.
Indeed, especially if you can merge your love for cake and an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Then you're winning.
Yes, and that's what I like, multitasking and winning in life.
Can I tell you one thing?
What's that?
I actually had 2 apples on my way here today.
Well, there we go. So I'm just saying, we're on the mode. We're doing this. Right, so I'm going to be wet ingredients, you're going to be dry ingredients. Okay, cool. So what you're going to do on that side over there, dry ingredients include flour, whole wheat flour, baking powder. You got some...
Whole wheat flour.
There we go. Just bring it in there. Got some cinnamon in there, got some nutmeg in there, got a bit of salt and some baking powder. All of that goes in here.
Nutmeg.
On my side, I've just got 2 beautiful eggs. I love the way they look so gorgeous. I'm going to whisk those in.
Beautiful eggs.
They have to be beautiful eggs. I also got some brown sugar in here, and then I've got some vanilla essence, and they're all going to go in. And my wet ingredients, I'm going to whisk them together. So here's the beautiful thing about this, is that I love the fact that we're going to use Fruits of the Forest in this mixture.
Why?
Because what it's going to do... Well, the thing is, because I love the fact that, dairy does wonders when it comes to any sort of, oven dish. It's got this softness to it that is just really magical. So the thing is, I'm going to use...
that creamy
So I've got mixed berries here. I've got strawberry and cranberry. I've got guava on the side. So I want to add 2 of these over here. And I'm going to do the mixed berries one, because I just feel like it works with what we're going with.
Any of them would work, but those 2, because you're choosing them, I'm here for them.
Thank you. I want you to be here with me in this moment.
And the reason why we're using the Fruits of the Forest, which of course Carl may have not mentioned, is that it's, we can use it with cereal. It comes in various flavors, and today we're using the red fruits with cereal flavor. Oh, that's perfect. It contains crunchy fruit pieces with oats. That's great. You're getting the granola in, as well as the sunflower seeds. Really all the great things that you need. And you can decide to either chop or grate the apples that you're going to be using, and then the addition of the spices will then make this bread a winter warming comfort of note. And that's exactly what we're doing here.
I think the most beautiful thing is to watch you talk while I whisk. I'm finding a therapy in it for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, listen, we're going to be topping the bread with a sunflower range of seeds there that are going to be coming through, which is one of the seeds, Carl, that you are going to need to
proceed
bring in here in the actual Fruits of the Forest dairy snack. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling like my wet ingredients are done. How are we doing on that side?
Dry
That's
ingredients
good.
ready.
Okay, I want you to add, this. So here's the thing about this whole beautiful mixture, is that, my wet ingredients are standing by. And that's so the thing is, we're going to make sure the dry ingredients go into here.
We need that.
It must
to
be
happen.
in here. And you must also move
There
a
you
bit
go.
while you do that.
Pagati
we
inside.
also have, this is just grated apple. You core it, you take the skins off, and then the apple goes in. And that's the beautiful thing. Plus,
Oscar, and I'm so glad that was pre-done, pre-made, because I was praying when I heard apples. Don't ask me to peel the apple on TV.
and remember, so here's the thing. When it comes to this part of the recipe, we're going to make a batter. We have to make our batter light and airy.
Nice.
So the thing is, you're not going to whisk it through.
What are you going to do?
What we need to do is we need to fold. Now, I don't know if you're a poker man. Folding is bad in poker, but in baking, it's a wonder. I'm just letting you know.
If you want to be a part of this wonder and you want to create it in your own home, why don't you go onto our website? It's expressoshow.com. On there, you'll find the recipe, but yes, all the different ingredients, that's the wet ingredients as well as the dry ingredients that you've seen will be listed there, and it's super easy to make.
And I'm just going to make sure that the dry ingredients are folded nicely. Why do we fold? Because we don't want any of the, you know, the flour gets very sensitive when it comes to the baking process. So what I want to do is...
Is that folding process called aerating? Am I using the right word?
Well, I
here?
mean,
No?
when it comes to... Essentially, what you are trying to do is make sure that it's not sort of tight together. You actually want to make sure that it's just folded in nicely so you get the batter. Otherwise, what happens is, inevitably, is that you're going to get... So if your ingredients is a bit dry, I think what I did was, in terms of my yogurt, is that I added just a little less than I should have because I didn't use all of the yogurt in there.
Oh, no, your dairy snack didn't all go in.
So what you are looking for is a sort of a batter consistency because your baking tin is standing by. And it's going to be greased. You've also got grease-proof paper in there so that it's easy to slide out. And once you do that, you're going to pop it into the baking tin and it goes into your oven. It's going to be 45 to 50 minutes at 180, preheated oven. And then you are good to go. Trust me, what you're going to get from this is the perfect snack. It's the perfect sort of, you know, treat, dessert, if you want to.
It's the smell for me.
I'm smelling it at the moment. I'm smelling it as we speak, and it's just absolutely gorgeous.
From the coffee that we made, and then now the bread. If you want the recipe, go on to expressoshow.com. Jamie, I mean, I am seeing you standing there, hands on your waist.
Are you ready?
So good.
This is the one that this is the dress that I picked. I'm sitting in it. I picked this dress.
Thank you. Thank you
are
to
honest,
Zanzi.
You know,
And thank you to you, Clover, as well.
Honestly,
you look great, and
it
I
looks
think
so
it's
nice.
so good that we want to feed you.
I'm going to give you some Clover fruits of the forest.
Thank you. Just give me all the gifts. If I needed, I needed to change my dress. I would have changed a long time
giving
already.
you something. The viewers have given you a dress, and of course, Carl's given you the fruits of the forest. I would like to give you a slice of our bread that we made.
I'm glad that you said ours, because if you just made it, I don't think I would have tasted it, but because Carl came through with it, I'm definitely going to try this.
Oh, that's terrible, but at the same time, I completely understand with that sentiment. Like, I get it. I get it so much.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready. Please taste it.
Am I ready?
I'm making the next batch. So it's be...
This is good.
By the way, no. That was a TV. You can't do that was a very TV.
How else would you do it?
You know what I mean? You must take a big bite.
Yeah.
Like big.
Yeah, like a big bite. Like you're not intermittent fasting, and you have to take a big bite, and then you go.
You're
Jamie's
trying
a
me.
lady.
You're trying me. Here we go.
Jamie is a lady, but listen, once again, that's the one.
Okay, now how do you feel now? Talk to me about the flavors.
Let's hear that one more time.
I just realized that's why restaurant managers come to you while your mouth is full, so you can't
So
say
that you don't
anything
have
bad.
much to say. But listen, this one's going to be a crowd pleaser of note. Go on to expressoshow.com if you missed any of the steps involved in making that fruits of the forest apple bread. Well, we've prepared this for you. Check this out.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day.
week's Ingram Skin Sessions, we discuss skin equality and the race to coming out. And here is a quick recap.
I've always been the same person that I am today. And my parents never even for once sat me down and said, are you gay? Are you bisexual? Are you whatever? I've just been told you are beautiful, smart, you're intelligent, you are confident, you are everything, you are enough. Is something that I've realized that is not always the same with everybody else. And that's the part that saddens me, because I've never, ever had to announce my sexuality.
Now I'm in a space where I create the positivity, you know. Up until today, at least once a week, I'm getting dragged on social media. But I'm honestly just at a place where I'm so happy. Life is very short. I've lost a lot of people in my life. So I can't afford to wake up on any given day and just not be who I want to be with who I want to love. Like, it's not going to be me.
Beautiful, beautiful conversation that we had there. But today we delve deeper into the subject because it's a big one. It's a broad one. We need to work towards a society that values and celebrates all representations equally. Inclusivity and representation, they matter so much. And for a third successive year, transgender women have been eligible to enter the Miss South Africa pageant, which is really a giant leap forward. We love that, right?
It's true. And the representation of diverse women is now being placed at the forefront for young women and young people to feel empowered and comfortable in their own skin. Now, we have a panel of experts joining us this morning who will be unpacking this topic. Let's welcome Miss South Africa CEO Stephanie Wheel and two members of the transgender community, corporate mogul and CrossFit coach Sophia Sibanda, and becoming reality show star and pageant queen Yaya Mavundla. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is so good to see such warm, beautiful smiles this morning. Sophia, let's start here. Not only have you managed to navigate corporate South Africa as a trans woman, but you're also a qualified CrossFit coach. You do so much. You obviously are a woman of many talents. Could you please take us through some of the key experiences that you've had on your journey to sort of fully realizing the woman that you are today?
Hello. That's such a good question. I think with both these industries, I think it's important to note that they're vastly different. But when you start looking at the commonalities from my journey, it's been like when you look up at leadership or the people that are making the decision, it's mostly men. And it's mostly older white men at that. And then there's another theme to that, which is just climbing up the corporate ladder is in general just harder for women. And with those two themes, then it's coupled then with internally for me, I started questioning my womanhood. And it's not only just an internal questioning of my womanhood, it's also external by the people around me. And ultimately, I think I just had to get to a point where I needed to ask myself, why am I here? What is the intention here? The intention informs the why. And ultimately it came down to performance. Performance is how I built my reputation as someone that gets things done well and gets it done first time. And when you look at the CrossFit industry, I mean, one of the things that stands out is strength. Lifting 75 kgs over your head is celebrated within the CrossFit industry. And that's something that I've had to lean on and lean in. That has stemmed from my journey as a trans individual. I like to say I'm a minority of the minority of the minority. I'm Black, I'm female, and I'm trans. And in that, there's a softness and there's a connectedness that I say that is my superpower, because now that I'm in positions of leadership in both spaces, you're not leading machines, you're leading people. And ultimately, people want to be seen and they want to be heard.
I love that, Sophia. Thank you for sharing. Now, I want to ask Yaya, being the star of the reality show Becoming, as well as your experiences in several pageants, would you mind taking us through your journey?
I think I remember very well when I started with being in participating in pageants and organizing pageants. I wanted to find first something that was going to make me stand out. That was going to make me remembered, by the judges, but also the audience. And I think the first thing that I actually thought of, I needed to be myself. I needed to be authentic, as much as it was difficult for me to just do what I believed was best of me to be. But I knew exactly that the moment I did that, was going to work for me. And, even when I would organize pageants, I would tell my judges that, listen, the moment that girl walks in, the one that we are looking for, you would know. And how they would know it, because I knew when a girl that is authentic and is proud of being themselves and representing themselves, would actually show herself. And I think it's the same thing that I did also when I signed up for Becoming. I remember when I got a call from Embassy, I was very, very, very scared of how people were going to receive me at home. But I think I knew the moment that I told my story truthfully, people would actually resonate with it. And funny enough, it's happened exactly like that.
And I think that your story and being able to sort of capture it and tell it in the way that you did was able to take the conversation beyond trans and LGBTI issues, but it became a broader human conversation to have. Stephanie, Miss South Africa CEO, we know that the organization, including transgender women in the pageant over the past 3 years, why do you think that the attention around this has particularly been, heightened this year? And how many trans women have actually entered this year? How are we going to be seeing it unfold as part of the process?
The decision was made a while ago around inclusivity, and for us as the organisation, it really is about that. It's really about broadening horizons and really showcasing inclusivity. I think that the highlight around trans women has become more pronounced this year, and I think that's because of a general move in the world as a whole around. There's been so much trans hate, firstly, and intolerance, and I think it's wonderful that it's being highlighted in this positive manner. It's come out at the most beautiful and perfect time to really take this platform and showcase what it's been doing, and really showcase that inclusivity in our country, where there is so much, uncertainty and things, and I think that this platform does give hope, and that's what it was built for, and that's what it does, and I believe that that's kind of where it's sitting. From an entrant perspective, I mean, there's been a lot of trans women enter this year, and it's been wonderful to see. I'm overwhelmed by how many have entered, and it's fantastic. And I guess time will tell as to where everybody lands, but it's very exciting and it's wonderful to see.
And it's beautiful. Now, I have a quick question. What does the inclusion of the transgender community mean to you, and what other spaces or platforms could you, do you think could take a bold step towards inclusion and really dispelling transphobia?
For me personally, I think it just means that we're no longer just tolerated, we are embraced. I think that's first. And our right to exist and be in any and all places is acknowledged, which is great. And I think in terms of other places where we could just make some changes, our school system, that's where it starts. I mean, when you think about it, those are your formative years. And let's take it to a 13-year-old who, number one, as a trans person, your body's changing in ways that go against what you know to be truth. And then you are faced with daily scenarios where, which restroom do I use? When you sit down and write an exam paper, you get to that section where you only have 2 blocks to tick, which is male or female. Your whole existence is made null and void by a piece of paper. So I definitely think our school system is where we can make some impactful change.
Steph, Miss South Africa, is doing such fantastic work in as far as inclusivity and representation is concerned. But let's talk about how competing internationally then plays out for trans contestants who would then need to be in possession of a South African ID reflecting their gender identity alignment, which becomes important at that level. Why is that?
I think that, obviously those are the international rules. And Yaya and I actually had a conversation about this. And I think that the great thing about the platform with South Africa, it is a platform. And if we can, use our voice in a way that can ensure that whether it be Home Affairs or kind of just the broader government sectors are able to really ensure that the process is hurried along and we are able to kind of move those processes as they need to, that would be wonderful in the first place. We would do everything in our power as the organization and this platform to stand for those rights. It's really very important to us. The LGBTQ community as a whole is very important to us. So for us, that would be something that we would highlight and really drive forward as much as we could as an organization.
That is incredible. Now, I know, Yaya, you've gone through the process of changing your gender marker on your ID. Can you talk us through what that experience was like?
I remember when I first went for the application, and I didn't think, for one, it was going to take this long as it has taken, because, I mean, I applied last year in November, and I was supposed to have received the information or the response in February, but that did not happen. But besides that, I remember filling in the form, you know, the amount of information that was needed there just did not make sense, you know. For one, they needed details of my mother and my father, which unfortunately I didn't have of my mother, which then led me to then say, I'm challenging Home Affairs to say you need to make it work without even that information being provided, because unfortunately I did not have it. But you know, for me, wanting even to like proceed and just do it, even though it was difficult, I then wanted to make sure that it's going to inspire other trans people that have that wish, because then when the moment your ID says you are female, you know, then there is so many things that you can navigate, even those that want to enter Miss South Africa. And I'm really, really excited that, you know what, it's actually going to happen this year.
Well, you're able to live and express and exist fully, right? And Sophia, we know that in a world that tries to tell us who to be, what to be, and decides for you that you're male, you're female, and that's that. Being what you're meant to be takes a lot of bravery, and we're hearing that in these stories. What advice do you have for other trans people out there, and where can they go to seek information and guidance?
The first thing I'd say is that your gender identity is valid. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes about it. So stand in your truth on that. And also, everyone's trans journey is different. It is exactly that. It is yours. Not like we're all in different spaces of, are we taking hormones? Are we not doing top surgery or doing bottom surgery? It all depends on what you want. But also with that, there's actually been a lot more focus on the physical and not enough on the work that needs to be done inside. Like, you need to be comfortable with who you are at the end of the day, no matter what level of transition you opt for. And in terms of organizations, I mean, locally we've got Be True to Me org, which is an amazing organization that supports trans, queer, non-binary individuals, as well as the people that are connected to them, like their families. From a CrossFit perspective, there's Out Athletics, which is an organization that actually partners with any fitness facility to raise awareness of challenges being faced by trans athletes.
Well, I think this is a conversation we can have all day long, but I just wanted to say thank you to Sophia, to Stephanie and Yaya for taking time out of your morning to have this conversation with us.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Such a pleasure.
Oh, we love your work. Here's a question for everyone out there at home. What act of bravery are you most proud of in your own life, and what has it helped you overcome? We want you to please reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram pages, including that hashtag Your Skin, You're Brave, and you might get first-hand advice from psychologist Dr. Asha Dulab on Friday morning. And not just that, stand the chance to win that 1,000 Rand voucher with Ingram.
There we go. And this week's competition closes on Friday. Those T's and C's can be found on our website. That's expressoshow.com.
Loving these brave conversations every single week. Now, we're also so excited to announce the incredible news that since the pre-record, we now officially have a trans woman as part of Miss South Africa Top 30.
Unbelievable.
Setting the bar.
But also kudos to the organisers, kudos to the sponsors, kudos for everyone behind that to get behind something that is absolutely vital right now. Very brave, brave people indeed. We love it.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's Moisture Plus, enriched with triple glycerine. For 48-hour intensive moisture. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
Yes, that's right. It is your Feel Good Breakfast show. It's Expresso. We're live here on S3. It's a Tuesday morning. Thank you. It's bright and early, 6:57 on your TV screen, and you've chosen to wake up with us. Well done.
Yes, all of
Well
that.
done.
All of that. Well done. Well done to you. In fact, if you woke up to watch the Olympians a little earlier, then I salute you as well. But now that you're awake, we got your attention. Thanks a lot for engaging with the social media post, which is simple.
Yes.
We asked you, what's the funniest thing that you've ever stressed about in your life?
So you're stressed about it. Now you think in retrospect, and you laugh about it, and you think,
Yeah.
wow, that was so funny, I was stressing about that.
Exactly. And we've got all these unique ones. Do you have anything off the bat?
We do have people. No,
You don't
know
stress.
me, I don't stress.
I know you don't.
I mean, life's
I'm also
too
not a
short.
stressed person. But if you are, we want to
That's
share.
what you said.
Yes.
Let's start with Isabella Ellis, who says, good morning, my Expresso family. I am very stressful every time when we approach a mall, Joburg Station or Oliver Tambo Airport, because I'm very afraid of the escalators. Isabella, have you seen the escalators at the Gautrain station in Sandton? Now that's something I've stressed about, and I still don't laugh about it.
It's
I
like
get
a
you.
pipe all the way down.
They're just
It
like going
happens,
super fast. You have to just like hop on them, like namela them. Fast.
That's you have to, Namela, look at that. Kingsley is saying this, I stressed about a broken tooth a few years ago, especially when the dentist started saying things like surgically removed. The fact that I had to go back thrice because the dentist wanted to have sufficient time to do the job properly on the actual day of removal of the tooth was out in less than 5 minutes, despite me being so stressed. I was as stiff as a piece of biltong, pain-free though, broken teeth gone, and the tooth will set you free.
Well, the thing is, Kingsley, I would be stressed about a broken tooth too, to be honest, but it is something to laugh about when you now sit back and you think back. Valdine Fontaine says, morning, guys. OMG, looking everywhere for my phone, but it's in my pocket. Stressing, searching for it. Valdine, I'm sure that happens to you every day. Okay,
Yeah.
I may have lied about stuff that I stress about.
Oh, really?
Because I often do that. I'll leave my phone on top of my car after locking the car, or the car in the ignition, and then I'll go shopping and I'll look for the car frantically, and then I'll go, the whole time it's been in the ignition.
This is what happens. You know, I actually picture that whole thing playing out. I picture you driving away with the phone on your car. That's what I picture.
It's happened many times.
Okay, well, there we go. You know what? We are all individuals, and we're not perfect. However, we stress as well. And that's why in the show, we're going to give you some guidance about how to deal with your stress. I will get his phone while you check out the news, okay?
The time now is 7 o'clock. Time to have a second look at what's happening in and around the world, starting with your national news. Now, the Public Servants Association, the PSA, has finally signed the draft public sector wage agreement, which includes a 1.5% wage increase. This brings an end to the marathon negotiations between the government and unions. The PSA represents 18% of the country's 1.2 million public servants. The agreement will also grant them a cash gratuity of up to 1,695 rand. The 1.5% wage increase will be backdated to the beginning of July. And then staying with your local news, the first consignment of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine for South Africa will be leaving Aspen's factory in Gqeberha this afternoon. It will be distributed across the country and made available under contracts between Johnson & Johnson, the National Department of Health and other stakeholders. Some of the vaccines will also be made available to the African Union Task Force for the mainland. Now, the distribution of the vaccine is an important milestone for South Africa. CEO Stefan Saad says Aspen is proud of the role it plays in vaccine manufacturing. Then looking to news further abroad, a new World Bank financing mechanism will allow developing countries to purchase COVID-19 vaccines collectively through the COVAX facility. COVAX was set up to ensure that 92 developing territories could access coronavirus vaccines to fight the pandemic. The new mechanism will allow those countries to buy additional doses on top of the subsidized ones they already will receive via COVAX. Now, under the arrangement, up to 430 million additional doses, or enough doses to fully vaccinate 250 million people, would be available for delivery between late 2021 and mid-2022. And then Tunisia's main political parties have accused the president of staging a coup after he sacked the prime minister and suspended parliament. Kais Saied, who also dismissed the defense minister, however, said he acted in accordance with the constitution. The move followed Sunday's violent mass protest over the government's handling of the coronavirus outbreak and the economic and social turmoil. Saied, an independent who was elected in 2019, has had a long-standing feud with the man he has removed, which is Prime Minister Minister Hicham Michichi. And then elation as a panda on loan to France from China is pregnant again. Now, for all our viewers who adore stories about pandas, here is some good news. Now, the Beauval Zoo in France has announced that Huan, a giant panda on loan to the French by Beijing since 2012, is pregnant again and could soon grace the country with her second cub due later this month or in early August. Panda reproduction is notoriously difficult because the female panda is in heat only once a year for about 48 hours. Huan and her partner Yuan Ji, star attractions at Beauval, thrilled zoo officials in March when they managed to make contact, as they put it, a few times in a weekend. Now, Huan's first cub, Yuan Meng, was born in 2017, the first ever panda born in France. Their numbers worldwide have rebounded since the black and white bears were declared endangered animals in the 1980s, thanks to efforts to protect them and their habitats. Well, that is some good news here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. That is where I leave your 7 o'clock news. Here is G with another look at the sports.
Obviously, a firm focus on the Olympics this morning, so let's kick it off with some fantastic news. Tatjana Schoenmaker won South Africa's first medal at the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games after clinching the silver in the women's 100-meter breaststroke final early this morning. Schoenmaker, who broke the Olympic record in the event on Sunday, finished behind 17-year-old Lydia Jacobi of the USA, and defending champion and previous record holder Lily King, also from the United States, bagged that bronze. And then after nearly missing out on the men's 200-meter butterfly semi-final, decorated Olympian Chad le Clos has now booked his place in the final. Competing in semi-final 1 earlier this morning, le Clos led from start to finish in lane 8 to finish in a time of 1 minute 55.06 seconds. The 29-year-old was the third fastest, or rather overall, and will be chasing the gold medal undoubtedly in tomorrow's 200-meter butterfly final. Then the Springboks 7 side, they've set up a showdown with Argentina in the final 8 of the Rugby Sevens tournament at the Tokyo Olympics. The Blitzboks finishing at the top of Pool C after winning all of their pool fixtures. Earlier this morning, South Africa beat the USA 17-12 in the pool decider, so will now face Argentina in the quarterfinals after finishing second in the overall ranking. The match between South Africa and Argentina will kick off at 11:30 p.m. today. Then staying at the Olympics, at only 13 years old, Japan's Momiji Nishia made history by becoming the first ever Olympic gold medal winner in women's street skateboarding at the 2020 Tokyo Games. Nishia finished first ahead of Brazil's Reisa Leal, also 13, and 16-year-old Funa Nakayama of Japan. Skateboarding is one of 4 sports making their debut in Tokyo, along with sport climbing, karate, and of course surfing, as part of an attempt to bring the Olympics to younger audiences. And on that note, the news just in, Bianca Buitendag has just made it into the surfing finals. That'll be happening at 9:30 this morning, but either way it goes, she is guaranteed of a silver medal now, so incredible achievement there. And then finally, we round off with rugby news. South African Rugby yesterday announced that the Springboks will start their Rugby Championship title defence against Argentina at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium in August. The Boks will face Los Pumas on the 14th and then again on the 21st of August in the opening 2 tests of their 2021 campaign. The last time South Africa and Argentina played in the friendly city, the Boks scored 4 tries to seal a memorable 37-15 victory. We'll have more on the Olympics and all of our global sports in about an hour or so. Right now, let's catch up on the weather.
Our Olympians are doing so well. Honestly, they're shooting us into outer space, and that's exactly where I'd like to start. In fact, matters of outer space. Earthlings can breathe a sigh of relief after NASA, the United States Space Agency, confirmed our planet was safe from a once-feared asteroid for the next 100 years at least. NASA had deemed Apophis to be one of the most dangerous asteroids to Earth after its discovery in 2004. Named after the ancient Egyptian god of chaos and darkness, Apophis is estimated to measure 340 meters across, about the length of 3 soccer fields, and a slight threat still remained for the year 2068. But now NASA has dismissed that threat, thank goodness, and based on new analysis of the asteroid. However, on 13 April 2029, the giant asteroid will pass within 32,000 kilometers of Earth, and Apophis will be visible to us in Africa. No telescope or binoculars required. Good thing is Bruce Willis is not required to save us. Now, while we love South Africa, we also love a beautiful look at the international scope, and as well as you, that audience member tuning in on Africa channel and YouTube in keeping with our love for learning and, of course, travel. For this update, we have another international city feature. We head to Alice Beach, a design-centric new urbanism village along the Gulf of Mexico in the state of Florida. Now, the village is styled with whitewashed buildings and Bermuda-style architecture with courtyards, fountains, pools, and popped-out shutters. The pristine white sands and sparkling blue waters makes the Alice Beach the perfect seaside escape. Today, we'll be partly cloudy and, of course, humid with scattered thunder showers in the afternoon. A warm day reaching 32 degrees Celsius will still be reached. A staple of the show is our sunrise photos. As you know, we receive from our viewers, and for your 7 a.m. update, we have this perfectly captured photo of Table Mountain taken by regular contributor Alan Rudnicki from Cape Town. Another regular is Nancy Governor, good morning, from Pennington, who has shared yet another stunning sunrise. And I do think Nancy is becoming quite the pro with finding just the right elements for a beautiful ocean sunrise. Nancy, I think there could be a career there. But do continue to interact and share your photos with us on the Expresso Facebook page. We love seeing how you start your day. Well, let's find out what the day looks like when it comes to temperatures. And starting off in Polokwane, 3 is your minimum, and that goes to a maximum of 18 degrees Celsius. Bombela, nice and temperate, 7 to 24. Pretoria, you can expect 3, quite chilly, up to 18. Johannesburg, 4 is your minimum to a high of 15. A maximum of 18 degrees Celsius can be expected in Mahikeng. 1 is the minimum. Klerksdorp, -1 is where you start, very chilly, but you're up to 19 later. Kimberley, 3 to 19. Bloemfontein, -4. 17 is your max. Very, very cold there, so please keep as warm as you can. Richards Bay, good morning to you. 13 to 24. You're looking good. Pietermaritzburg, it's not like it's winter at all. 26 degrees is your max. That's from a low of 6 degrees Celsius. Durban, 14 to 23. Mthatha, same for you. Looking good at 26 from a low of 4. East London, you showing off. 28 degrees Celsius is your maximum from a low of 14. Cradock, 4 to 22. Gqeberha, 12 to 27. George, you can expect 10 this morning. This afternoon, 24. Cape Town, 10 to 17 with a 70% chance of rain. Worcester, 5 to 20 for you. Sutherland, 4 to 17. And Uppington, wrapping up with you. 23 is your high from a low of 8 degrees Celsius. That's a wrap of the weather news and a weather update when it comes to temperatures. Please send through those sunrise photos. Nancy Governor's leading the chase, so you can still get in by posting it on the Expresso Facebook page.
Yeah, be like Nancy, man.
Be like Nancy, but those pictures really make us start a day on such a fresh note. It doesn't make us stress at all. You know what is making me stress?
Why?
Is all this outfit changes. This is my 3rd change for the morning. I'm literally moving back and forth, back and forth.
No one gets through as many outfit changes as Jamie Lee on this show in the morning. But listen, we've got something for you, Jamie Lee, and for you at home if you're stressing about anything you're stressing about. We've got Ilona Philander in the house. She's going to be talking to us about how to manage stress. And yes, stress is stress, no matter what the size of it, whether it's outfit changes or like big stress.
Like you are my stress. She's going to teach me how to deal with you.
I'm a big stress.
Oh, don't hurt me, stress. Don't hurt me.
You're stressed.
Nourish your skin with Ingrams for Men, enriched with triple glycerine. For 48-hour moisture and no stickiness. Ingrams, your skin, your brave.
Spread of things. Yes. I don't know, because imagine...
Hello, so say mornings in your name.
Good morning, Ilona Philander.
Don't do that.
Can you hear me now?
Perfect, it's cool.
Do what? What?
What did you say?
Nobody's pushing the structure. I'm having a little laugh though.
Welcome back. Not to stress you out or anything, but this morning we're talking about stress. Oh man, haven't we had it in spades? COVID-19 has significantly impacted our lives over the past year and a half. We have seen increased levels of anxiety and stress during the pandemic, understandable. And while workplace stress and stress at home can be considered normal, when it interferes with your productivity, with your performance and your mental well-being, your mental health, it can become a problem.
Well, take a deep breath, because this morning we have a panel of experts. When I say panel, we've tried to call in as many people from different spheres to talk about stress, because, I mean, it has angles all over. And in the studio, just to make sure that we take us through all of the elements and the different ways stress affects parts of our lives, you know? Just, it's important to do that. So first off, we have biokineticist Ilona Philander, who will be telling us a bit more about the physical impact of stress and how exercise can actually help. And I think this is just a perfect example of how we can physically attack this whole stress thing. Welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
Fantastic. You look good. So relaxed. You look like the least stressed person.
That's the environment we want to create this morning.
Exactly, man. That's one of the perks of the job. I felt it in my own physical journey. There is, unfortunately, you can't isolate stress as being an emotional thing or a mental thing. We live in our bodies, and our bodies try to release and process stress. But what is it? What is stress?
Stress,
actually?
So basically, your body is just responding to a stimulus called a stressor, and because we are under such high demands, like you mentioned with COVID and so forth, you know, that body experiences that input, and then it also responds to it. So if the body is under that excessive stress all the time, you know, it starts having that side effects, and basically that's what stress is, just that high pressure all the time on the body, and your body then responds to it and adapts to those changes.
You know, like the universal sign of stress is always this, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, someone's stressed when there's always like that creak in the neck. Like, how does stress actually affect our body physically?
Physically. So you'll definitely start feeling it fatigue-wise as well. You know, reaching that point of burnout, you'll feel more fatigued. Yeah. And basically muscle tension. I think that's
the neck thing, eh?
The neck thing in your shoulders, and you just feel, I feel so heavy and exhausted. So basically, it's just feeling that headaches, that anxiety picking up. You don't feel sort of at your maximum performance each and every day. So it does take a toll on how you operate each and every day.
And I always find it's like that. Someone once gave me a brilliant analogy, like a seesaw, and you keep loading the one side. You might be able to push it correct, but it's still going to keep going unless you do something about it.
Yes.
You joked about, crinkling the neck. Yes. A deep breath is something I use.
Yeah.
There are ways that you can relieve that stress. How would you recommend that physically we turn the pressure cooker off?
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's firstly important to determine with exercise, are you on any medication, and what are the side effects of that medication, because that's, you know, a big impact of exercise. And then training in a certain zone. So, you know, keeping it at moderate intensity. You don't want to be doing high intensity and then you're more stressed. So looking at that between, you know, 50 and 70% training zone. And what does that mean? You take your age, your maximum heart rate, and you work out your 220 minus your age. So if I was 20, if I was 20, 220 minus 20, you get 200, right? So you multiply that by your training zone, which is maybe 0.5 and 0.7, and you can train in that zone. So you look at your heart rate then you know, okay, I'm monitoring, I need to stay between 120 and 140 beats. Then you know, okay, I'm in a safe zone. So I think that's important for people to realize, you know, monitoring your heart rate monitor. And if you don't have a heart rate monitor, taking, you know, your 2 fingers, looking at that protrusion, and just taking your heart rate.
Sure. It's made me less stressed, because I'm like the old guy on set. Come on. I just tap my foot and I'm in my zone now.
Yeah.
Yes, that whole rhythm thing that we go
through. Speaking of rhythm, so you want to do exercises that has rhythm, dancing, swimming, cardio, going for a run, going for a walk, but in nature. So things that calms you down. So you don't want to add stress. You know, your stretching techniques, which we'll tap into soon. Okay. It's important as well. But it's important to just stay in that moderate intensity. You can do resistance training, but not too many. You just want to, you know, twice a week to maintain your muscle strength. But cardio, definitely aerobic.
Okay.
Will be amazing.
So, because I think that it's important for us to monitor overexertion as well as, you know, so I wanted to ask you that. So you're saying that there's a certain cardio sort of space you need to be in, a zone. But now overexertion, that sort of thing, you know, there's always that onset of when you're going to get stressed out that needs to cue some of the exercises and maybe breathing and meditation to sort of stop it. So what were some of the cue points that you would say, or like, okay, wait, hold on, I need to calm it down for a second.
When do you know it's time for you to...
Yes. I know it's not just a click in the neck. You know, there's awesome other other things. So
Yeah.
you were saying fatigue as well, but I mean, if somebody, let's just say a lot of people play with their fingers, or are there any other sort of bodily things that come out of you that showcase that you are heading towards stressful?
Yeah, definitely. You would say that, yeah, basically sweating, excessive sweating, headaches, nausea, your sleeping patterns will be affected, your eating habits will be affected, which we'll tap into soon as well.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
those physical things, definitely. Weight is a big indicator. So looking at monitoring your body weight as well is very important during a stressful time, because those are indicators, loss of hair. So each person will experience different symptoms. It's just being aware of, okay, this is not normal.
Okay.
What, you know, breathing issues, anxiety, obviously, loss of breath then eventually. So it's just monitoring those symptoms where your body's out of its norm, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Fantasizing about giving your 4-year-old child away.
That's a red flag.
These are the signs that we need to look out for. We make light of it, but already all of us, on one level or another, have experienced extreme anxiety. People have got sleeplessness. There have been so many spin-offs that I think from years from now we're going to be looking back and going, wow, that was COVID.
Yeah.
One thing's for sure, though, we have got the answers. In just a moment, we're going to be putting a very stressed out looking Jamie through her paces.
You can actually go to her.
Go and help her out.
She still looks stressed.
Thank
She's
you.
at breaking point. I can
Are
see
you
it.
Are you ready? No more outfit changes.
I feel like that conversation made me more stressed.
Yeah.
But now we get to take a deep breath in, because maybe you're feeling some sort of stress during the day. It is inevitable for most of us, but with the fear of an invisible enemy, the coronavirus pandemic, our workload, and also just balancing family life, that can all sometimes relate to being very stressful. Now, luckily, our expert this morning is here. You're going to take us through a workout. I don't know, what do you have for us today?
Okay, so
besides
basically,
breathing.
okay, so it will be important to do your breathing while you're stretching, because that obviously brings the heart rate down, calms the mind. So be mindful of it. Okay, so we just start off with just 3. We're just going to take our arms up, breathe in, and breathe out. Okay, and bring it up again. Okay, and breathe out. And last one. Good. Right. So
I love how the boys put me through the paces. Like, they just had the conversation and then they just whisked you away, and now I have to do all the hard work.
It's Women's Month too, we'll claim.
We'll take it.
Okay, so he was speaking about the neck, so we're just going to stretch the neck. So you take it literally to the side, you laterally flex it and bring it slightly forward. You just want to feel a bit of resistance in your trap area, right?
Keep that for 10 seconds. You are following along with us.
And you can change to the other side, laterally down, and bring it a little bit of pressure.
I feel that good stretch in the neck.
Good, okay. Then if you have a partner at home or friend, you can do the table stretch, which is my favorite. Okay, so good. Initially would be holding hands, but you can reach out. Okay, make sure your back is nice and straight and you're lengthening it out. You should feel it in your mid-back. So try and bring your hands up to next to your ears. Okay.
I'm feeling a stretch at the back of my legs.
That's good.
Correct?
So then if you want to feel it in your back, you just bring your arms up a little bit and you reach forward. Okay, and drop slowly and roll up. Okay, good. Let's take it down to the floor, to the mat.
I'm so at peace right now. I can't hear the boys, I can't hear everyone. I'm stress-free. This is a stress-free zone. Don't come into it.
Don't come into my bubble. Okay, so this is one of my favorites because I just want you to relax everything. Okay, so no tensing of the muscles. So you're going to take a deep breath in. Okay, and just slowly breathe out. And as you breathe out, you reach forward. Take it out. Okay, so relax the muscles. Okay, and you keep it there for 10 to 15 seconds and you relax. Okay, you can do it again.
I'm stressing that this is painful. It's painful.
So you can bring it back up. Okay, good. So you're gonna do another one. Deep breath in. And slowly release forward. You don't have to touch your toes, but just relax, reaching forward. Okay. Good. Right, so okay, you can slowly roll up. Okay, so with stress, right? Can possibly turn around to the back. So what you'd want to do is, lower back pain is quite an issue. Okay, so to tap into that, we're just going to lay down, arms out like a star. Okay, you're going to look to the right. Okay, you take your leg over, lift it up.
Oh, okay. This feels
I
so
just felt
good.
a crack. Okay, so you take your hand, and as you breathe, you take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you take it a little higher. So where you'd want to feel it is right on the side into your back. If you're not feeling it, adjust your body accordingly. Okay, very good stretch. Okay, take it over to the other side. Good. Oof, cracks.
The cracks.
Everywhere.
Play the music a bit louder so you don't hear all the cracks in the back.
Okay, and relax. Okay, good. So now we're going to do figure 4. Very good for glute stretch. So take your arms through to the left leg. The left leg, you're going to push and...
Okay, mine is making a number 6 over there.
So you want basically your right leg to be over there. Good. So you pull your left leg and you push your right leg forward. So with your elbow, you push your right leg forward.
Okay,
there we go. So you get a bit of a resistance both ways. Okay, you can change over. Okay. Good for the lower back as well, and glutes. So you want to pull the right, push the left with your elbow. There we go.
Got it.
Okay. And if you want to, you can literally just lay there.
I like this one. I like this one where I just get to lay.
Close your eyes and just focus on your breathing. Amazing. Okay, right. And if we're going to turn around again, okay, we're going to do the child's pose. So I'm going to tap into...
I forgot that we were on TV. Actually, that this is in
back
my life right now, back at home.
In your zone. Okay, so I'm going to tap into your inner thighs as well as your lower back. So you want to open up as wide as possible, arms stretched out, and you're going to pull back. Okay, and I want you to feel it. So you can open up your legs a little wider. You should be feeling that mid back.
Definitely, and also just in between.
Yes.
Over here.
That is lovely. Good. Okay. And as you are right there, you can place your feet. You can do cat and cow. Okay. So you go all the way up and all the way down, stretching out that vertebra. Good. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Good. You can do that about 3 times. Stretch as far as you can, all the way up, like a cat, and all the way down. Good.
Well, listen, while Ilona, Philanda, and I are going to continue this, we're going to do more stress relief management for you here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We will see you after this.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's Tissue Oil and Rich Body Care range for 48-hour rich moisture. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso on S3, and hopefully you're not too stressed out. You can take a deep breath and just enjoy your Feel Good Breakfast Show, because carrying too much stress takes away from our quality of life. But it's not always possible to live stress-free, and we need to focus on the things that we can control, and that includes how we react to stressful situations and how we choose to manage our stress.
Yeah, sometimes you can't control the fact that you're stressed, the things around you that make you stressed, but how you react to that and what you do to recover from it. You do have control over that. And that's why we love the following food for thought from Australian sociologist Chelsea Uriu, who says, stress acts as an accelerator. It will push you either forward or backward, but you choose which direction. That's your choice. I love that. That is so powerful.
But I think it's powerful because, you know, when I was studying psychology, and they say stress is not really bad. There's a graph that you get, and there are certain stresses that really actually push you to do better, that will increase your performance. But there are sort of stresses that'll put you into a zone where naturally it's going to break you down. You're going to feel like it's debilitating. You're going to feel like, I don't have energy for this. Why am I doing this? And that motivation factor will get pushed to the side. So not all stress is bad.
And so it does push you to really take a moment to pause and go, hey, where am I going with this? Where is this directing me to? Think about that for a moment this morning and take it. Run with it.
This is a stress-free zone this morning. Now, earlier on, we did some just movement, some flow to be stress-free. But here's the thing, and you spoke about it earlier on. Often when you're going through a stressful situation, you're just trying to find pressure points, and you do this, and you try to give yourself a massage. Yes. Can you maybe help us with how to relieve stress if it's on the spur of the moment, and you just want to give yourself a quick massage? How do we get to achieve that?
Okay, perfect. So 2 pressure points that you can focus on for stress relief, and obviously headache as well. It's focusing...
Headache, I like what you said.
Yeah, because I saw the indication that you made. So this is one to release anxiety. And it's... so you will apply pressure for about a minute.
And I'm just applying pressure, or am I massaging that?
So this is just applying pressure. Okay. You'll keep it there for a minute. You can do it throughout the day. And that obviously will just open up the energy flows running through the body, which is quite important. If you're experiencing any headaches, you can, the soft, mushy part over here, you know, from all the typing and being on the phone, you can just apply the pressure as well for a minute, a few times, according to your abilities in which you need. So that's things that you can do yourself. Manual therapy, home therapy is right. Okay, so then you have your massaging as well, which, if I may assist you.
You know what? I will volunteer that I will be the person that you can massage today. I know the boys are looking at me like I should have taken that. It's okay. It's okay. I get to do this. Okay, so you're going to show us. You did sanitize. You're going to show us.
Sanitize.
If you do have a partner at home, maybe a friend that you can do this with.
Okay, so you can either do this yourself or someone else can do it for you. So you'll take your thumbs, you'll place it behind your ears, and then spread your hands across the head. So you'll just do circular movements, okay, for 20 seconds, and then you'll change your hand position to go right across the head to cover all areas. Okay, so that's the first one. You can do it yourself as well if you don't.
No, I don't think that you should do it yourself. And I wish there was a camera on the boys right now, because I can see, I can feel their presence looking at me like, how did you get so lucky? That felt so amazing.
Yes,
I definitely felt a lot of stress being released right now.
Yes.
It is beautiful. I feel calm. It is good. You can keep going.
Okay, so the second one is basically you'll place your thumbs on your temples, which if you take a bite, if you bite your teeth, you'll feel them popping out, so you can bite it for me. There we go. You place your hands in the midline of your head again, circular motions. And this is to release some tension headaches, okay? So this is a nice one because you'll be able to easily, you know, do it yourself if you're experiencing that tension headaches. Also, right at the back, at the bottom of sort of the base of your head, over there, you know, just apply some pressure.
This feels so calming, so good. Can I take you home with me?
Yes, you may, of course.
Loda Falada, you're my new best friend. It's all about how to relieve stress here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're going to continue this, but we're also connecting with you on social media. Boys, how you doing? How you doing?
Huh? Sorry? What?
Sorry, what?
It's fine, we'll do it ourselves. Right.
Tough life, man. It's a tough life. No, she's earned it. She's been put through the most this morning. She's earned it.
So, of course, we are looking, and we're not doing this to be frivolous. We really do understand that there is a lot of stress, but we're lightening the mood just a little bit by asking you guys to tell us what the silliest thing, the funniest thing that you've ever stressed about is. What's the funniest thing you've ever stressed about?
You know, I mentioned this earlier. I think it was like my teeth. You know, I still had a lot of coffee in my head, like a yellow tinge. And every time I looked at the mirror, I was like, oh my word, my teeth are so yellow.
Would stress me out.
Yellow.
Yeah, no, that would stress me out.
It stressed me out a bit. I was like, what's going on? And yourself?
Crumbs. And I
Crumbs?
drive my poor fiance mad, but
Like pie crumbs?
Flings, any kind of. And she used to do that on purpose.
Okay, in the bed, I get it.
Yeah,
If it's in the bed
like this, and the crumbs would just go down in the.
But it's sandpaper in the bed. That's the problem with it. But we actually asked you this, and
silly.
Please share, and remember, it's a safe place. We are a family, so you tell us exactly what's up. So let's
no
go
one's going to see this. No one's.
Yeah, no one's going to. Not
Not
like a national TV or anything. Relax. Don't worry, we got you. Right.
Okay, Adam saying, morning everyone. I'm forgetting to take out the meat or the chicken in the freezer for your mom, and she pulls up after work.
Okay, honestly. But you know that there's a hiding.
Yeah.
You know it's going to happen.
For me, it was finishing the milk. Finishing the milk. Ooh.
And then you got, it's a
Morning,
good morning family. Yes,
Josephine.
indeed. Okay, Nikki West saying, looking for my phone everywhere, and boom, it's in my breast.
Is this what we're missing out on by not being able to wear a bra?
I think this is, because there are places we can stash stuff. But I mean, it's a stressor if that is indeed the case. But please keep it coming. We love hearing what the funniest thing is that you're stressed over. And as Graham mentioned, no reason to take it too lightly. We do also know that the stress is a real thing. And we do have some experts chatting to us and taking us through some steps to get through it.
You know what calms me down is some amazing music.
Indeed.
So more of that, please.
Well, I'll tell you this, you are in for a treat here on your Feel Good Breakfast show this morning when it comes to music, because Skylar Clark is in the building. She's prepared a range of her songs, some of them brand new songs as well that you are going to totally relate with. And I think this particular one she's going to perform for us so perfectly appropriate. It was, a song that was written around anxiety and stress. It's called Breathing Under. And Skylar Clark, take it away.
Thank you.
Put your hand on the glass. Do you see from the outside? Small smile fading fast, turning blue, but she's alright. 'Cause baby, you don't know that I'm breathing underwater. Tried so hard not to let it show, but every day it gets a little harder. Sinking deep in my mind, guess I'm scared of what I could find. There's nowhere to run and hide, so be prepared. Might not make it out, 'cause baby, you don't know that I'm breathing underwater. Tried so hard not to let it show, but every day it gets a little harder. If I shout it out, would you hear me now, or would it be wasted on ya? If I hit the ground and don't make a sound, I'm breathing under, breathing under. Breathing under, breathing under. Breathing under, breathing under. Sinking down, sinking down. Is it too late now to come help me out? Sinking down, sinking down. 'Cause baby, you don't know that I'm breathing underwater. Tried so hard not to let it show, but every day it gets a little harder. And baby, you don't know that I'm breathing underwater. Tried so hard not to let it show, but every day it gets a little harder. If I shout it out, would you hear me now, or would it be wasted on ya? If I hit the ground and
class on your Feel Good Breakfast show, Breathing Under. Now, that is sheer talent. Sky, you got to share the experience of this song with us. What made you write the song? What inspired the song?
I think it definitely came about during the beginning of the pandemic, when I think we all really came to terms with our anxiety and learning that it's okay to feel these things. So I thought it would be really important to write something about that so we all know that it's normalized.
It is normal. And look, the choice that you have when this sort of thing is happening is whether you're going forward, letting it move you forward, or send you all the way backwards. Something to think about here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Now, Skylar has 2 more incredible performances lined up for you this morning, so you do not want to move a muscle. We'll see you in a bit. I love that.
Strap yourself in to this hand-built 5-liter sedan. An engineering marvel that could drive your spend into the red. Accelerating your lifestyle beyond your means. In this world of chasing status, do you want a bank that takes your money? Or a bank that takes your money seriously?
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Feel Good Breakfast Show is what it is. And when I say feel good, I mean stress-free, because we have to continue with our health segment. We have to bring you all the people we promised you, and we're joined by clinical psychologist Amy Glover, who'll be telling us more about the psychological effects of stress and its relationship with mental disorders. Welcome, Amy.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No,
you got this, Amy.
Yes.
You got this.
Are you feeling stressed now?
Come on.
You're only on TV.
No, we do our absolute best to stress Amy out as much as we can before every segment. No, we love it. And we love the focus for this morning. And we are making light of it because that's the human condition. We have to. We have to find the light. And certainly as South Africans,
100%.
It's been our saving grace to be able to see the lighter side of life after everything that we've been through. But undoubtedly, it does make its mark. It leaves its mark. And we've got to process. We've got to deal with this. If left unchecked, it can start tipping over into that mental illness side of the spectrum. So what is the impact of stress, of continuous anxiety, if left untreated?
Sure. So yeah, I mean, it definitely takes its toll, right? So I think psychologically, the way that stress affects us is it's cognitively. So it's in terms of our thought. And then our thought then leads into our emotions. So in terms of thoughts and emotions, that's where it affects us, you know, psychologically. And that's things like irritability, loss of concentration, excessive worry, sometimes hostility even, and that spills into our behavior, which affects our relationships. So, you know, the psychological roots are very much in terms of our thinking and our emotions, and that plays out in how we behave at the end of the day. So, yeah.
And it's amazing. You'll testify to that with kids. Suddenly, when you're stressed out, the fact that you can't kind of shield your children from your anxiety makes you even more anxious, and it becomes this kind of cycle that just keeps growing.
And then inevitably, the kids actually calm you down in the end because they're probably more emotionally intelligent in that moment than you are.
Love you, Dad.
Which is lovely. Yes, don't worry, Daddy. But just a quick one in terms of stress and mental disorders. There's a certain psychopathology connected to this whole thing because you get people who stress, and that is not necessarily a mental disorder because it's a phase you need to get through. But then how do we know that it's bridging over to debilitation and thinking about, oh, hold on, this is actually becoming a mental disorder? Where does that relationship live?
Yeah, so I think, we definitely need to normalize stress, that we will all experience it, and there are certain, changes and lifestyle things that happen to us that will affect everyone, and it's normal and it can pass. So I think, things with stress, it's more, it will more be in the category of stress if it's the stressor passes and so does the stress at the same time.
Okay.
That would be more normal.
Yes, just
like,
situation.
Things like moves, life changes, changes in work, having a child, those are all normal stresses we will experience. But I think when it extends further than that, into the mental illness category, that will be, symptoms that affect our functioning. And also, not to say that stress necessarily causes mental illness. It can certainly exacerbate it, right? So it can bring it to the fore. And people with existing mental illnesses are incredibly vulnerable to stress. So it can bring on episodes, depending on the mental illness, it can bring on episodes of depression or mania, or increased anxiety. So yes.
I love that when the stressor has been turned off, but the stress hasn't.
There we go.
Perhaps we've been given a gift in our job. We need a bit of anxiety. We need to feel the adrenaline. And we actually probably feed off that. When is a little bit of stress a good thing?
There is a normal limit to that, right? So I think if stress is still helpful as a motivation, if it's still, a healthy window that's getting the task done, you thrive off a bit of the adrenaline, then that's normal and that's good, and that helps us, achieve certain things, that helps us excel at times. But, if it's now tipping over that window and it's standing in the way of the task, then that's, it's no longer good for us. Because then we can't perform a task. I think a very common example of things like a test, right? I think that's one we can all relate to. Or a driving test even, that's a common one. If we're anxious to the point, or we're so stressed to the point that we actually can't do the test, then that's no longer helpful, then that's no longer good anymore. But if there's enough adrenaline that gets us motivated, then that helps.
How do we stop it?
How
do we, you say it starts with a thought, how do we change the way we think?
It's hard work.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So, how we work at it, I think we need to really be aware of how each of us individually responds to stress. So sometimes it's not that easy to just give a brushstroke over all of it. But I like to look at managing stress in 3 ways. So in terms of our mind, our body, and our spirit. So in terms of mind, it's about how do you actually engage your mind healthily? So things like, or occupy your mind healthily, because that's where the thoughts will ruminate, or the thoughts will, get excessive or excessive worry. So, occupying the mind in a healthier way can be things like reading, like journaling, mindfulness, rest.
Take your kid to nature.
Yes, being outdoors, 100%. So that would, fall under body. Exercise. I think there were some wonderful relaxation techniques shown earlier already. And then spirit, I really like to emphasize this because it's about connection. Each of us connect differently and rely on social support in a different way. And we need to share the burden, right? We go through difficult times and we need to feel like we're not alone in that. Well,
I think that's power. You're not alone. Clearly you're not. We've got the experts like you, Amy. Thanks a lot for sharing.
So much better now.
You've given us some emotional scaffolding to handle pretty much anything. And as you know, as a South African, we have so many stresses. We've had some terrible things go on in our country, as well as COVID-19, which is happening right now. So I love the individualism of actually looking after this home that you are in, which is so powerful as well. And also, when it comes to home, you want to feed it some good stuff.
I'm relaxed enough to eat now.
Okay, so we should actually eat now, because stand by, we have a fish dish, and omega-3 fatty acids are known to assist with stress. Take a look.
Well, this is a meal you want on your plate. There's no sincerer love than the love of good food. There really isn't. And the Olive Pride Chef's Tour was the ultimate exploration of flavors across the country as amazing chefs cooked their hearts out with pride. We saw it all unfold. It was beautiful. Now, this next recipe is one from Jan Braai, one of my favorites, when he visited Saldanha Bay to find the freshest fish for a lekker vis braai. Now, today we're sharing his chamola fish recipe with Melissa Delport, who's going to be showing us over her social media. I'm sure she's been posting it. It's been a big thing. But we are going to be doing it. Jamie Lee and I are doing it here on the Expresso kitchen.
The thing is, it's all about stress-free environments, and this is where I find zen, even though sometimes I can't cook.
You find zen in food?
Yes.
You're my girl.
Yes, when you play that little Sade in the background and you're just out there getting a good piece of fish on the braai, it is what it is. So this is exactly what we're doing today. Beautiful piece of yellowtail. Can you just see it? It's just stunning. Scream.
Gorgeous.
Just look at this. I want to show you.
Gorgeous.
She's the girl that you think she is, okay?
You can see that it was caught with love as well.
So this morning I came in to studio and I was like, guys, what is chamula yellowtail? Chamula is actually the spices. That is actually the flavor component to the yellowtail. So the yellowtail isn't chamula. You are going to be taking care of
on here, which is what I've got. I've got some parsley. I've got some coriander, garlic, cumin. What's this? Coriander. Pepper, salt, and some smoked paprika, as well as some lemon juice. I'm going to get that all going in there together. You see, I do get confused between parsley and coriander. I can never tell them apart. It's insane. I need guidance there.
And sometimes
that's the one thing I stress about.
Does that stress you out?
Food, making food. And I have to eat, right? So I have to cook almost every day. But, you must know the stress that comes with it. And then I laugh when I'm eating the food.
You make me stress sometimes when I see you eat so early in the morning. Tabiso will literally be sitting with a piece of chocolate cake early in the morning, and I'm like, this brother is stressing me out. So we're going to prepare this fish as well. We are going to brush our fish, of course, with the blend of seed oils and extra virgin olive oil. We know that it is endorsed by the Heart and Stroke Foundation, so it's perfect for getting that omega and fatty acids in for you. And so I'm just going to brush it nicely on the skin.
Just spreading that on there. Well, Clover Olive Pride Blend is highly recommended for hot applications such as frying. So you're going to be frying or grilling or stewing and baking. It is the perfect one to invite and bring into your kitchen. It does have a high smoke point, but it maintains an olive flavor, which is really what you want. And Clover Olive Pride is endorsed by the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Carries that cancer icon on it, which is all the good news you want if you're going to be making use of that in your kitchen. So basically, you're painting all of that Clover Olive Pride on there,
Did you know that you should actually, when you are going to put it down on the braai, you always put the skin down first, just to get that nice crisp one. So we're not putting any of the chamula on first. We are going to first seal that beautiful piece of fish.
Okay, while I mix all of this up, well, you can tell that it's going to taste amazing. Just the smell of my mixture here.
So just again, seal that
sizzle,
nicely.
Sizzle.
You want to get that in. I'm going to turn it up a little bit.
I mean, you're originally from Cape Town, right? So you grew up on fish. You know, you ate a lot of fish, a lot of seafood as a kid, right?
Friday staple, some snook in the house. Always had a good piece of fish. So
and I always do find when I go to Cape Town braais, now that I live in Cape Town, I always do find that people in Cape Town always include fish as part of their braai. I'm from Joburg. We don't have fish as readily available or as fresh as what you get in the coastal areas. And it's been such a treat, I must tell you. I won't come to your braai if you're not going to have fish as part of your braai. I'm sorry, I will not be coming. I'm not available that day. Sorry.
It's a good thing I'm not going to make fish anymore. Okay, so you see that beautiful seal there?
Good.
You see the nice grid going on there?
Ooh, nice.
I'm going to take that in. And then you're going to turn it around. And are you ready with that?
Chamola.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Going to take that and then just...
And then you can brush it in as well again. So while we're sealing it on the other side, you're just going to beautifully glaze
it smells so good, man.
It smells good, eh?
Oh, the chamola is what brings it to life.
Would you come to my braai now if I made this fish for you?
But you're a fish girl, so I'll definitely be there. If there's a fish as part of your braai menu, I'm there, Jamie Lee, I'm there. And listen, if you want to also get this on your braai menu, if you really just want to treat the family to something really exquisite and delicious, go on to expressoshow.com. We've loaded the recipe there with all of the ingredients you are going to need. That looks so good. So obviously you would have to keep an eye on it. and see what it looks like. The nice thing about fish is you don't have to keep it there for a long time.
Yes, because otherwise it's going to be dry and flaky. But
You don't want
the
that.
other thing as well is that when you are going to turn it, you can either just leave it like this, or
Yeah.
you can go again and seal it again to get that flavors in. But
Okay.
this can also be a side dish. So when you are serving it for people coming over, you
Yeah.
can actually make this separate, and then people can just add their chamula
Love
to it.
that. Well, Graham, I mean, you're starving this morning. Graham is standing way too far from it. Carl, if you can just step in.
Whoever's first.
Me. You said,
Well, they're
Carl,
both
not
here
Graham,
now.
it's me. Who's tasting?
Actually, yellowtail has high amounts of iodine in it, so with my allergy, I'm not allowed to.
It's omega-3 fatty acids, which actually helps to decrease inflammation related
okay.
to anxiety
Well, you
and
don't
stress.
have to
This is not a
convince
general
us. You
knowledge
don't have to-
question, okay?
You
It's
don't
not
have to
about-
answer questions to give it a try. Please, gents, knock yourselves out.
Jamie, did it
Carl,
stress you
if
out
could
having
just
to
get it
cook the
the
whole fish while he
forefront.
sat there and did nothing?
nothing.
This whole
I'm sorry, I made the paste that's going on the
He
fish.
made the
Did you make
chamula.
the
Thank you very much.
Just for that, Graham.
Just a little bit
if
of
you
piece
could
here.
please just excuse
Beautiful.
yourself.
Touch of
Just
chamola.
get to that.
Here we go.
How's that,
and?
Carl? Look at that.
Hey.
Look at that face. Now that's the face I'm looking for.
Graham, you wish this was you.
Oh, buddy, you grew like a foot.
I know. I'm actually feeling taller. This is great. I feel like a lot more calm as well.
You?
You feel that?
You don't have to go
That's it.
the extra
Looks like
mile
your
for it.
brain is growing inside your
It
head.
is. Come on.
Go for it.
Well, that's the reaction
You were
and the
so
kind of
efficient.
remarks you want to get when you do make this at your braai this weekend. Hopefully you're going to be doing that. Or wait for the weekend. Any day is perfect for some fish. Go make this one. Expressoshow.com for the recipe and all of the ingredients. Okay, you don't have to finish it now, Herbert.
What's happening?
No, you don't have to finish it, Herbert.
Was it? I didn't have a
it's not for
sufficient
finishing.
For a bite?
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are live with Expresso. Thank you so much for joining us once again. You are just in time. We are joined this morning by the unbelievably talented and lovely Skylar Clark, and she is going to kick off her morning of performances with another amazing track. And this one was co-written by Richard Brokenshaw, and it's called Strangers. The floor is yours.
Baby, you don't know me like you think I do. Well, at this point, I can agree that's true. I see you at the party like 100 times before. No second glance, no kind romance, no slamming doors. But let's play strangers, just like we do. And I'll pretend that I don't know what keeps you up at 2. And let's play strangers, we'll play the part like I didn't spend the last 2 years trying to fix your broken heart. Just a stranger in my head, just a stranger in my bed, just a stranger, and nothing left, but I don't know you anymore. You said, baby, I don't owe you like you think I do. I must admit I'm over it, playing the fool. But let's play strangers, just like we do. And I'll pretend that I don't know what keeps you up at 2. Let's play strangers, I'll play the part like I didn't spend the last 2 years trying to fix your broken heart. Just a stranger in my head, just a stranger in my bed, just a stranger, nothing left, 'cause I don't know you anymore. Just a stranger in my head, just a stranger in my bed, just a stranger, nothing left, 'cause I don't know you anymore. Just a stranger knocking on my door, just a stranger asking me for more. I can't be what you're asking for. Didn't know it'd be so easy to erase me. Just a stranger in my head, just a stranger in my bed, just a stranger, nothing left, 'cause I don't know you anymore. Just a stranger in my head, just a stranger in my bed, just a stranger, nothing left, 'cause I don't know you anymore. Just a stranger in my head, just a stranger in my bed, just a stranger, nothing left, 'cause I don't know you anymore. Take it back to the start.
Oh, take us to that other place. Skylar Clark, ladies and gentlemen. That song is available for download right now. Get on it. That needs to be like a movie soundtrack. That is just so beautiful. Thank you so much for blessing us with your considerable talents this morning. And of course, Skylar's not going anywhere. She's got one more performance after this. Let's get into those news headlines and our sporting headlines one more time.
Well, it is the final hour of the show. Time to have a final look at what's happening in and around the world. Starting off with your national news. Now, Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesufu yesterday said he's hopeful that the teachers who choose not to be vaccinated would change their mind. Lesufi said 7% of teachers in Gauteng have refused to be vaccinated. This equates to just over 8,000 teachers. Lesufi said the numbers are disturbing, as he thought that when it was announced that teachers would be vaccinated, they would rush to get the jab. He now hopes that the excitement of other vaccination groups receiving the jab will encourage the 7% to change their mind. And then the Public Servants Association, the PSA, has finally signed the draft public sector wage agreement, which includes a 1.5% wage increase. This brings an end to the marathon negotiations between the government and unions. The PSA represents 18% of the country's 1.2 million public servants. The agreement will also grant them a cash gratuity of up to 1,695 Rand. The 1.5% wage increase will be backdated to the beginning of July. And then looking to news further abroad, Mozambican President Filipe Nyusi says troops fighting the Islamic State-linked insurgency in its Cabo Delgado province are gaining ground and having the enemy retreating. Nyusi was addressing the nation on the crisis that was triggered in March when the insurgents attacked the coastal town of Palma near natural gas projects worth $60 billion, meant to transform Mozambique's economy. Now, meanwhile, Botswana yesterday sent off members of its defense force to Mozambique as part of the SADC's standby force to combat terrorism. Last week, South Africa did the same. And then a new World Bank financing mechanism will allow developing countries to purchase COVID-19 vaccines collectively through the COVAX facility. COVAX was set up to ensure that 92 developing territories could access coronavirus vaccines to help fight the pandemic. Now, the new mechanism will allow those countries to buy additional doses on top of the subsidized ones they already will receive via COVAX. Under the arrangement, up to 430 million additional doses, or enough doses to fully vaccinate 250 million people, would be available for delivery between late 2021 and mid-2022. And then next, a man reaches out to his wife in hospital by playing an accordion. The video recording of Lucas Dupree of Mossel Bay in the Southern Cape playing an accordion for his wife Miranda outside the COVID ward of a local hospital continues to touch hearts as it circulates worldwide on social media. The 66-year-old Labour advocate's performance was his way of reaching out to her, whom he has been married to for 44 years. He said after being apart for almost 3 weeks, he turned to his accordion out of desperation, stood outside the COVID ward's window and played the gospel songs she so adored. His touching performance was captured on video by an administration staffer at the hospital, Charlotte Barnard, who shared it on social media, where it immediately went viral. Dupree's received messages from as far as New Zealand and Australia. The good news is that his wife's in a stable condition and improving daily. Will he do it again? Absolutely. He says he will play again and again until she's discharged. Just the feel-good news that we need here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. That is where I wrap your news headlines. Here is G with a final look at the sports.
Well, Jamie, I'm happy to oblige. We can continue with the Feel Good right now. Great news to start our Olympic watches. Tatjana Schoenmaker has won South Africa's first medal at the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. That was after clinching the silver in the women's 100-meter breaststroke final early this morning. Schoenmaker, who broke the Olympic record in the event on Sunday, finished behind 17-year-old Lydia Jacobi of the USA, and defending champion and previous Olympic record holder Liddy King, also from the United States, bagged the bronze. Then after nearly missing out on the men's 200-meter butterfly semi-final, decorated Olympian Chad Leclerc has now booked his place in the final. Competing in semi-final 1 earlier this morning, Leclerc led from start to finish in lane 8 to finish in a time of 1 minute 55.06 seconds. The 29-year-old was third fastest overall and will be chasing that gold, obviously, in tomorrow's 200-meter butterfly final. Then the Springboks 7 side set up a showdown with Argentina in the final 8 of the Rugby Sevens tournament at the Tokyo Olympics. The Blitzboks finishing at the top of Pool C after winning all of their pool fixtures. Earlier this morning, South Africa beat the USA. Stiff opposition in our pool group. 17-12, that scoreline in the pool decider, will now face Argentina in the quarterfinals, as I said, after finishing second in the overall rankings. That match between SA and Argentina will kick off at 11:30 a.m. today. And staying at the Olympics at only just 13 years old, Japan's Momiji Nishida made history by becoming the first ever Olympic gold medal winner in women's street skateboarding at the 2020 Tokyo Games. Nishida finished first ahead of Brazil's Risa Leal, also 13, and 16-year-old Funa Nakayama of Japan. Skateboarding is one of 4 sports making their debut in Tokyo, along with sport climbing, karate, and surfing, as the Olympics attempts to attract younger audiences, and they've certainly done it. And one of our very own is doing it as well. Bianca Buitendach earlier this morning confirmed confirmed her spot in the surfing finals. That'll be taking place at 9:30 this morning, considering she's been off the professional circuit for a number of years now. An outstanding performance. She is at least guaranteed now of a silver medal, but let's hope she goes for gold. Now, finally, on to rugby. South African Rugby yesterday announced that the Springboks will start their rugby championship title against Argentina at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. That's in August. The Boks will face Los Pumas on 14 and 21 August in the opening two tests of their 2021 campaign. Of course, the last time South Africa and Argentina played in the friendly city, the Boks scored 4 tries to seal a memorable 37-15 victory. Let's hope for more of the same. Well, that's a wrap of your sport for this Tuesday morning. Let's get one last look at today's weather.
Thank you very much, Graham. Let's take a final look at the weather. But first, some weather-related news. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is preparing the most comprehensive assessment on the state of global heating since 2013. In the next fortnight, the scientists will go through their findings line by line with representatives of 195 governments. Experts are predicting that the report will be a wake-up call to governments. Now, it's expected that the short 40-page summary for policymakers will play an important role by guiding global leaders who will then come to Glasgow, Scotland in November to deal with critical climate questions. Now, this year, though, the panel's report takes place as extremely weather events have shaken the US, Canada, Europe, Australia and Asia. And the question of the role played by human-induced climate change is being asked more loudly than ever. Now, in 2013, its assessment stated that humans were the dominant cause of global warming since the 1950s. Now, here's the thing. We do love South Africa, but we also do appreciate that we've got a growing international audience who tune in on the Africa channel as well as YouTube. Now, in keeping with our love for learning and travel, for this update, we have another international city to feature, Friday Harbor. It's a town out in San Juan County in Washington, United States. Now, the population sits at a small 2,426 as of 2019. Now, it's located on San Juan Island. Friday Harbor is the major commercial center of the San Juan Island archipelago. Whale watching is a huge draw there, and the arts thrive at places like the San Juan Island Museum of Art. Now, fun fact, there is actually no need for a vehicle in this town, as everything there is within walking distance after taking the Washington State Ferry to the island. And today will be a partly sunny and pleasant day, reaching a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius summer well. Now, bringing it back to South Africa, we've been reporting on the intense cold front that has hit parts of the country. And while scoring the socials, we came across some very cool, pun intended, footage from the Underberg in KZN. Now, we started this morning off with the slightly nerve-wracking video of a Jack Russell happily strolling across this very frozen river with his only thought seeming to be, why can't I take my usual morning dip? And now, staying in the Underberg this morning, we found that crazy ice sculptures that have formed on garden furniture and surrounding plants due to the low temperatures experienced during the cold front. It's freezing over there. Now, we really should take more time to marvel at the beauty of nature and make sure that all we do is doing our best to preserve it in the long run. Now, for your 7 a.m. update, we received this perfectly captured photo of Table Mountain taken by regular contributor Alan Rudnicki from Cape Town. Alan, thanks for that. Another regular, Nancy Govender from Pennington, shed yet another stunning sunrise. I do think Nancy is becoming quite the pro with finding just the right elements at the right time for a beautiful ocean sunrise. Thank you so much for that. Now, please do continue to send in your sunrise pictures on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show SABC3, and let's see how you start your day. Let's take a final look at those temperatures across the country. Sunny times out in Polokwane. 3 is your low today, reaching a high of 18. If you're out in Mbombela, your low 7, peaking at 24. Pretoria, you start off at 3, hitting that mile ending of 18, with Johannesburg at 4, peaking at 15 degrees. 1 is your low out in Mahikeng today, reaching a high of 18. with Klerksdorp starting at -1, reaching highs of 19. In Kimberley, you can expect a low of 3, reaching a high of 19, with Bloemfontein at -4, freezing over there, ending at a high of 17. Richards Bay, sunny times over there, nice and warm today, 13 for a change, reaching a high of 24, with Pietermaritzburg 6 and hitting a high of 26. If you're in the warmest place to be, Durban today, your temperatures are 14 to 23, with Mthatha at 4 and 26. East London, some signs times of sun and clouds over there for you. 14 is your low, reaching a high of 28, with Bebeja starting off at 12 and peaking at 27. George, your temperatures today are 10 and 24, with a 70% chance of rain for Cape Town. 10, reaching a high of 17. Worcester, 5 and 20, with Sutherland at 4, peaking at 17. And if you're out in Uppington, last certainly not least, your low is 8 and reaching a high of 23. That's where we live for this morning. No matter what it's looking like in your part of the country, I know you're going to make it a feel good kind of day.
We will. You know, temperature-wise, it looks good, but now obviously we're dealing with stress. So we've covered a good quotation.
Okay, yeah. Let's
that was
take stock,
fantastic.
yeah.
Then clinical psychologist, Amy Glover.
Mind.
Great.
Okay.
Mine is that we need something else.
We've done the body. Movement.
That's
stress
cool.
release.
Ilona.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. What's next? I suppose what goes into the body.
Indeed.
And what about our kids?
And kids, a kinderkineticist and a dietitian. In fact, the dietitian, Karina Adams, is standing by, ready to chat to you about what we put in and how it gives us good stress-free output.
Good vibes.
Stay there.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are live with Expresso as we continue to de-stress this morning. Now, at some point or another, we are all guilty of stress eating. Maybe during lockdown a little more than we should have. In these situations, we use food as a way to deal with our stressful situations. And dietitian Karina Adams is in studio looking amazing, feeling amazing.
Yep.
Ready to tell us more about emotional eating and how we can overcome this, because we can overcome anything. We've proven that over the last year and a half, if nothing else. Karina, welcome.
Thank you so much.
All right, so let's start off with you. What's the snack of choice if you were to emotionally eat?
Pancakes with cinnamon and brown sugar.
Boom.
And your son?
That's right up there.
Right? Also
that's
pancake.
right up there. Dude, you don't understand. Actually, you might be my spirit animal right now, because I absolutely love it.
Minus speckled eggs. I don't know why. Yes, it's something about the crunch and the softness
the
of the inside that calms me down. But I think to understand emotional eating, I mean, how do you identify it? Because sometimes we just like the snack. So how do we know that the stress is connected to the eating?
So basically, it's how would I explain it? So emotional eating comes from basically childhood. So now when you used to fall and you scrape your knee and your grandmother would be like, here's some ice cream.
Or sugar water.
Yeah. I'm saying
How bad
we felt
quite bad.
When you go to the doctor, they'll give you like a lollipop. Because
Yes.
it's comfort. Okay, so whenever we go through a stressful situation, how you identify is the moment you start stressing and you're running to the cupboard for something, then you know, okay, this is not a good environment for me. So every time you stress, you realize, okay, I'm hungry. It's not necessarily hunger. It's more of an emotional cue to comfort you, to make you feel better.
That's so cool.
And sometimes we'll concede and we'll say, oh, it's all right because it's just a little snack. Yeah. But you times that by 25 over a very stressful week and suddenly it's not just a snack. I've got to ask, in your experience, extensive experience in the space, do we gain or lose weight from stress?
So stress itself is just a factor. There's a plethora of things that lead to emotional stress and emotional eating. But you can't say stress makes you gain or lose weight. It's everything around it, the background of the hormones that are signaling other hormones for you to eat more. Generally, most people gain weight because people generally stress eat. Some of us, like myself, I don't stress eat. I will work and get everything done.
I stress clean.
Yes.
Stress cook.
But people that stress eat don't realize that they're eating so much because you'll be in the bed, especially now, I can say during the time of the pandemic, people are sitting and working from home. So now you're working in the bed and you're just like...
The kitchen is arm's reach.
So people are working in their bedrooms. So people are gaining weight and they're not necessarily seeing it until they have to go about, put on a pair of jeans and then the jeans not want to fit.
Or when a colleague doesn't see you while saying, hey, you're looking healthy, Yes, they will tell you. They'll look in your face, you know.
So, but it's not stress that make you gain or lose weight. It's your patterns, your behaviors, and your habits that make you gain or lose the weight.
Okay, now, when does this become a proper health issue? Because we're at home. Surely that's our comfort space. We've got the snacks in the cupboard. We're chowing it up. So how do we know when this is becoming a real health issue when it comes to emotional eating?
So when you're generally starting to snack on things that are very unhealthy, things like chocolate, sweets and cake, where it's like 6 o'clock in the morning and you're not grabbing a bowl of cereal, but you're grabbing a chocolate or something sweet to feed your emotions, then you start to realize you're not eating something healthy, and it's mostly those fatty, greasy, sugary things that you're starting to crave for instead of like a healthy bowl of food when you're actually working and being productive. That's how you know that if you're not wanting to eat a proper lunch or a proper supper, but you're just grabbing what's on the go, because it's that grease and that fattiness that wants to feed you, basically your soul on the inside. So that's how you identify and know when you're starting to reach for things that are becoming a pattern. So every morning I'd rather grab a chocolate than having a bowl of cereal and having a healthy breakfast. That's how you start to identify that you're emotionally eating.
That being said, we know that we're a system that's always trying to balance itself out, and one thing always influences another. Our eating and our overall health is going to help to contribute to less stress. So that being said, what are the good foods to eat, to go to? How can we maybe plant something healthier in that spot that normally is occupied by a chocolate bar?
That's a good point. Like instead of chocolate.
Nuts. Like, what do we do?
So for me, my friends, even work colleagues, you have a cup of tea is one of those things that actually is very soothing, very comforting. Also, tea helps them fill the stomach. So then you get this feeling of satiety, so it doesn't trigger the brain really as much as you are hungry or craving something. For chocolate, you would say dark chocolate. Natural dark chocolate of 70% up cocoa is a good replacement, but it's not always palatable. So I always tell people...
it's very bitter.
Yes, it's very bitter. So what you do is you try to find a way to make it better. I usually tell people you take even some almond milk, and you melt the dark chocolate in there with some honey, and then you get it in that way. So you get hot chocolate, and there's not so much sugar in it, but still getting in that feel-good. The dark chocolate actually triggers your brain to have this feel-good feelings.
Endorphins,
Yes, so that is a good replacement. Things like nuts. So nuts, like pistachios, almonds, and walnuts, actually contain magnesium, and those help. It's been linked to basically bring down anxiety, stress.
So it's a natural antidepressant.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So naturally, you bring those things down, but more so whole grains, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. What they do is when you're getting fresh whole grains and fruits and vegetables in, they've got fiber in them. And that fiber actually goes deep down into your gut, and they feed your healthy bacteria. Now, your emotions actually start in your gut. So if you're not feeding your good bacteria, it can actually lead you to becoming very sluggish, very fatigued, and basically even depressed if you're not having a good variety-based diet.
Well, when they say trust your gut, they meant it, eh?
Yes.
I'm so hungry right now.
Yes.
Not from stress, just because you've spoken about some amazing things. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
I mean, just by the radiance of your smile, clearly you are eating the right things and you are saying the right things. Thank you so much. That has been hugely helpful. It starts in the gut. Take care of yourself. Take the time to take care of yourself. That in itself, just that exercise of self-care might start a much healthier process and a journey towards less stress.
Well, time now for us to shine the spotlight on people who take care of us in the absence of our ability to take care of ourselves. Every single Tuesday, we bring you the Pharmacy of the Week. It's a short feature that I really do enjoy in this show. It goes all out to acknowledge the incredible people working on the front line. They do fantastic work every day. This is our way that we say thank you to these brave healthcare workers.
And of course, this is brought to you proudly by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave. Let's take a look at this week's Pharmacy of the Week. It is Blagari Pharmacy.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
For 17 years, Blagari Pharmacy has served this community. And as much as we support them, they support us. We are constantly inspired by the good work and the outreach that Blagari and the greater suburbs around us do. And we are always there for them and they are here for us. And bravery means different things for different people. For a lot of our elderly customers, just coming out to the store is a very brave act for them.
Being a mother of three can be quite challenging. Coming to the pharmacy has always been beneficial because they help me in getting the right medicine for my children. And it really saves me money knowing that the first time it's right.
During COVID time, we don't know actually if a person is negative or positive. Being brave is to just being able to work with any customers at any time and any place.
Service to us is serving our community. It's giving a good healthcare option to our customers at an affordable rate and giving them the best advice that we possibly have to offer.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
You've got to love it. And a big shout out to the Blagari Pharmacy. I actually know it very well. I did live in that area. There's so many elderly people there and families. And to see the work that they do for that community is fantastic. Well done.
Well done.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your feel-good, stress-free breakfast show, because today it's all about stress and we have brought in so many experts to chat you through all the facets. And as adults, we always focus on our personal stressful situations and forget that stress can occur in kids as well. And that's why we got the Kinder Kineticist, Emilia Adonis. She's back in studio to ensure that we know all about stress in kids, something that can help us parents with so many little things that we perhaps don't really see in the nuances.
Doesn't that stress you out when you think that your kids might be stressed and you are not doing the most? Emilia, thank you so much for joining us. We've seen you at work with kids and we kind of get the energetic kind of, you just are amazing in that space, which is beautiful. So I'm sure you have become pretty expert in identifying when a child is those smaller kind of things. What as a parent can we look out for that our children might be stressed? Because boy, haven't we been through a stressful year and a half.
Definitely. So what you can look out for is basically tantrums, unexplained tantrums, unexplained headaches. If they say, but my head is paining or I have a stomach ache. Also things that you can look out for is when they start withdrawing. If it's a very active and happy child and they start becoming quiet and just sitting in, for instance, in a corner. Okay. Things that you can also look out for is lack of sleep. And that obviously leads to headaches at the end of the day as well. So yeah, and obviously because children can feel what we feel, and with the whole COVID-19 pandemic and everything, it leads to stressful situations in kids as well, and we forget that.
Yeah, they have the same level of emotion, but maybe not the same level of processing ability.
Exactly.
So it can be even more stressful for them.
Okay, so if you look at our stresses in the home and also at school and all around, I'm sure there are a few of those that do affect our kids. So what are some of the things that we need to look out for as parents that could lead to stress in kids?
Okay, so one of the first things, obviously, like I said, now in COVID-19 as well, because they need to adapt. So adaptability to maybe moving from one place to another place. I need to go stand in the line in school. I need to make sure that I'm a few meters away from my friend. I need to make sure that I'm sanitized, I have my mask, and that's already a stress on its own.
Yeah, true.
I forgot my mask at home. What am I going to do? It's just going to go at me right now.
Yeah.
So what would you do? That causes stress as well. And also things like bullying, peer pressure, all those things also adds up and leads to stress.
Yeah, we know bullying, one of the biggest contributors to teen suicide at the moment. The fact that a child could feel so helpless in that space because of something like that. So I think that's something where parents need to be really on it. Let's talk about our younger children, our toddlers and our babies. Do they also experience stress? Do they have the capability?
Of course. So I think that because yes, they are small, but they actually have big feelings. So I say that babies, they are sponges. They absorb everything. So if my mommy or my dad is going to be angry, they're going to feel that because their senses are so active. Because obviously everything's happening in the environment, they can feel it and they can sense it. So they take it in. So if I'm going to take my child and I'm going to pick her up, normally I'll pick them up very quietly and very gently. Now I'm angry and I'm stressed. It's obviously going to be like, oh, come, I need to put you down at the next, get you changed, give you a bottle, there you go. So all those routine changes, all those things. So you get stressful, it goes over to the child as well.
Okay, so this is just an opinion, but I find that so many parents, if they detect any stress in their kids, first thing it is here's a tablet.
Yes.
Or let's watch TV together.
Would you eat something?
But I want to find out, like, how do we constructively actually address the stress within our kids as parents? I mean, are there better ways, instead of saying, okay, don't worry, let's throw the tablet in your hand, that we can actually just calm them down a bit?
Of course, I'd say listen to your child.
All right.
Listen to what they are saying, because your child will say, Mommy, I don't feel good today. Mommy, I feel ugly. They don't like me. That's all things that causes like stress from school. So listen to what your child is saying. If your child is coming and say, but listen, I'm not feeling good today, or I had this very difficult day, that's stress as well.
Yeah.
So I'd say listen to what your child is saying, go through, and like I believe that also have an emotion chart. So maybe you can Google it, you can get it from from Google.
That's cool.
And then obviously with all the emotions, so happy, sad, confused, angry, stressed, and obviously children, they link to pictures and colors. So they can go, okay, so how are you feeling today? I feel happy, or I feel sad. And also you can even add that in schools. So in front of your school, in the door, as they come in, you can say, okay, how are you feeling? If there is time, obviously, I'm feeling sad. Next child comes in, I'm feeling happy.
Hey? Oh, my fiance would love that chart. She's just going to be sitting pointing at the chart as soon as I walk in the house.
So
Go to the chart.
And that's the thing, like, because parents as well, they can also do that. Because
we need to talk.
We are also kids at the end of the day.
Yeah,
we're also kids, like,
okay.
silently.
Well, we've got some big kids in studio, yes.
Exactly.
We can identify with that, but take nothing away from it. I think this has been the key for me and my little guy, is activity, is physical activity.
Yes, definitely.
Connect with your body and release the stress. So we're going to let you go and do that right now. We've got a big kid over there who is waiting.
Ready.
And she looks so de-stressed now.
Bring her over. Thank you, boys, for allowing Amelia to come and do this workout with me again. I'm doing all the hard work. But speaking about activities, from writing to drawing, laughing and doing something fun and maybe a little bit adventurous, there are ways for children to relax and relieve stress. Yes, it's all about taking a deep breath in. Now, fitness activities are a great way to do this without them actually being aware that they are exercising. Kinderkineticist again, Amelia Adonis, is back. She's here to show our parents a few ways that we can help kids kids relieve stress. So early on we were speaking just with regards to the adults, and they said, you know, take a deep breath in. Sometimes me explaining to my toddler, take a deep breath in, he's going to look at me like, Mama, what are you saying? So how do we then translate that to the kids?
So what I'd say is I call it the little hug. And also, like I said, parents can do it too. Please don't forget, it's for parents too. So you can tell your child, okay, and with COVID times as well, you can't really hug. So I can't say, okay, Jamie, I'm going to give you a hug. No, it's not appropriate right now. So what you can do is you can hug yourself, and you can obviously go around, hug. And then all your joints as well, squeeze it as hard as possible. And you'll feel that you can obviously start feeling, okay, I'm starting to feel grounded now at the end of the day as well. Go all around. And then also, I'd say shake it out.
Shake it out.
Tell your child you're going to dance, put up the best music, and you just go shake, shake, shake.
And they will love that. I mean, all the kids love to shake it out. They like to dance, have a little bit of a dance party in the front room, in the lounge, wherever in the house, and just let them shake it all out.
Exactly. And the another thing that you can also do is, I believe that burning a lot of energy is also good. So I'd say you can run on the spot.
Okay, so we're going to try that.
Run on the spot.
Hoping you, the kids at home, is also joining us for this little workout. Get the kids involved. Wake them up if they're not ready for school yet. Let them get out of bed right now. Let them run on the spot. We are burning some calories, but we're also relieving some stress in kids as well. And maybe again for the parents as well.
So I'm incorporating for the parents as well as the kids as well. And then obviously I just say if it's not really overwhelming, just go on the floor and just lay.
Just lay.
Just lay. Lay it out.
Can I do that? We can do it. Let's do it, Emilia. I love this. I love my job today. I get to lay. I get to do nothing. So then we're just going to stretch it out.
So we're just going to lay down and try to reach as far as possible. So obviously you can say, okay, we're going to reach for the stars. So we're going to try and reach as fast as possible. We can say, okay, we're going to climb all the way to Mount Everest, for instance. You can obviously use your imagination and say, okay, we're going to try and get the little red ribbon on the other side. So you can obviously place things in front of them as well. From there onwards, you can obviously go all around and say, okay, now we are swimming.
Ooh.
And obviously breathing in and out.
Very important to just focus on that breathing, slow things down. I do find that when I'm stressed, and just like you were speaking in the conversation, it often translates to Lucas. So when I find a bit of a medium, for instance, last night I was busy training as well, just doing a bit of a workout, and Lucas just came with and he started doing jumping jacks with me. So that is also a fun way to incorporate the kids to do something with you, something fun, something that gets the heart rate pumping.
Exactly.
But over and all, it just makes sure that you're having fun with your little one, because if you're stressed, they are stressed.
Because they mirror everything that you do, and like I said, they are sponges. So they absorb everything, each and every emotion, they are absorbing everything.
And funny you mentioned that sometimes I'll count till 10. So I'll do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so just to breathe, because I know, Lord, sometimes the child is just testing me, and then he starts counting with me, and I'm like, we're counting this together, we are breathing together, making sure that we are calm and in a safe space together. Okay, sorry, I took you away from the moment.
No problem. Okay, so we can
swim.
You're swimming, and then we can obviously go all the way up.
Ooh.
Also breathing up, we can tell them, okay, we're going to look at the sun. And also while you are doing this, you can obviously start telling them stories. So you can say, okay,
cat sat on the mat.
Yes. All those things, you can do that. Okay, then we can come all the way up. All the way up. And then we can obviously just stand and say, okay, we're just going to breathe. Relax your shoulders, unclench the jaw. Just breathe in, closing your eyes. And then for kids, you can obviously say 1 crocodile, 2 crocodile, 3 crocodile, breathe out.
You say, no, Mommy, the crocodiles are chasing me, the crocodiles are chasing
and
me.
with that, you can also say, okay, we're going to close the eyes and we can imagine we are running around, getting the little crocodiles or whatever animal they are. So obviously adapt to what they are feeling and what they like. So that's important also to do what your children like, and obviously listening to what they like and what they're doing and all those things. So relieving stress like that.
It's all about connecting with them as well. I love that you mentioned that you have to listen to them, understand what they like. Yes, it's about us, but what do your child want? Do they want to stress? Do they want to work out? Do they just want to be with you? Do they just want a hug?
Exactly.
And again, like they were mentioning, the best part after working out is always getting a treat, getting offered a treat. So I'm going to offer you a treat, Emilia. We have some Clover full cream milk after that workout because we are stress-free.
And it's good for the children's bones. Calcium.
Well, you heard it here first. Cheers to you guys.
A promise to the planet to be gentle and treat nature with kindness. So there's always trees to climb, to plant the seeds for a better future. Woolworths, the difference.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, when you see the apron going on, you know what time it is here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. It's time for more kitchen inspiration. Now, here's the question. Are you not sure what to whip up for dinner tonight? Well, we've got the answer. Get ready for some Italiano. Yes, we've got you covered with Woolies Eat In Cook Italian meals. I love them, and we're making a trusted favorite, spaghetti bolognese. Wow, Chef Clem.
I have a request.
What is your request?
When COVID's over and done, can we get a live studio audience? Because you've got the most amazing infomercial voice. The way you're like, and that's not all.
That's not all. It's Italian night. Tonight, everybody applause
Woo!
for Italian night. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And I'll tell you how to make it. Well, you'll tell us how
I'll tell them how to make it. So the first thing is, who doesn't love spaghetti bolognese? Vegetarians, but it's fine.
Who doesn't like it?
Pasta. Who doesn't love pasta? No, audience is quiet because everybody loves pasta in the audience.
We all love pasta.
We love pasta. And this is an amazing way to feed the family during the week, okay? It's the Woolies Eat In promotion, and we live for these deals.
Well, I certainly do.
You literally do.
You and I, we do. Come on, we talk about these deals all the time.
It's a make or, like, it's just a make every single time. If you're having a hectic week, if you're having a chilled week, if you're having whatever week, it doesnn't matter.
But also, if you're someone like
Tabisa, okay?
And sometimes you don't need the tension of spending time in the kitchen. You know that it's all done. You have to just heat it up.
And you look like a professional while doing it. Guys, I'm in this infomercial mode now. I literally am in the mode. We're going to stick with it. Okay, so this week, actually until the 8th of August, you can get this deal. Get all the ingredients you need for today's spaghetti bolognese for under $2.30, and you're saving 32 Rand. If you get the chicken lasagna, under $2.35, and you're saving 42 Rand. So you know what? Because it's until the 8th of August, you just get everything.
Yeah.
And that's not all.
Over here, you're getting over there, you are getting everywhere!
Can we get it? Oh, this live studio audience is amazing.
Love it. Okay, let's get cooking.
Let's first thing. So I've got my onions cooking because you want to take some time and cook your onions down, right?
Yeah.
The thing about onions, if you give them little low and slow love, they just give you so much flavor back.
Okay.
Sweetness. I would cook.
So you must take it nice and slow.
I've just turned it down. Yes, I did. So I want to bring out the sweetness, the natural sweetness in the onions. What I did do, a little hack, a little bit of salt goes in.
Okay.
Draws out some of the moisture and helps it soften. Then I got my lean mince. Now mince, we know, is just so versatile. Okay.
It is, yes.
See, I was gonna go infomercial. You can make burgers with it. You can make bolognese sauce like this, and the bolognese sauce you can freeze and use it in the lasagna. Use it as we're gonna do today with the spaghetti bolognese. But also, have you had a toasted bolognese sandwich?
I've never had that.
It's bread, mozzarella cheese, bolognese sauce, and then you toast it in a pan or in a panini press.
Every day you wake up with one mission, and that mission to win the hearts of South Africans through the love of food.
You know,
I don't know when you're going to stop, but you mustn't stop.
Never stop.
Don't
never stop. Never stop.
Ever.
Ever. Okay, so mince goes in. You could also brown your mince before you want to get it like nice and like get the crust of the mince. But
how do you do that?
No onions first. You start it with oil and then just the mince.
Oh, okay. On its own.
Mince is selfish, and onions too. Okay, meat in general is selfish. It'll only give you that nice brown crust if it's just it in the pan.
Okay.
With a little bit of oil.
All right.
Onions also, if you want to brown your onions properly, nothing else in the pan but oil. They don't like, as soon as another ingredient comes in, they're like,
then
nah.
they just sort of like, I'm
done.
out.
I'm done.
Okay.
It's not my party anymore. Okay, so let your mince get nice and soft. The thing with the bolognese, it's a ragu.
Okay.
Which means the meat is soft.
It's
It falls
tender.
apart. Exactly. So it's fine to add it like that. Then garlic goes in, and there's no quantity for how much garlic you put in.
Wow.
Because you can go like, if you love garlic, which I would do like 6 to 8 cloves.
And then
Just let it go,
and then
nice
just
and
like
slow.
let it all just like
Mellow.
merry.
Absolutely.
Listen here, what we've done here for you is amazing. The people at Woolworths, they've thought about you. They've gone on their website, woolworths.co.za. They have made sure that this recipe is on there. So if you want to really create this magic at your own home, please do go on to woolworths.co.za and check it out. It's lovely.
Okay, pasta time. I'm using... it's the die cut pasta.
Which one is this one?
This is the very fancy private school pasta. It's been made with a die cutter, so there's like, if you look at it, it's got a bit of texture on the outside of the spaghetti.
Bronze. It's also got like a bronzy effect to it. What? Am I talking nonsense? I'm probably talking nonsense, am I not?
It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's live.
I think
it doesn't. You saw bronze. You saw bronze.
Yeah,
okay.
and I acted like I know.
I'm gonna
like, bronze. It's bronze.
It's bronze.
But I actually wrote it there somewhere.
I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna give you a chance to redeem the live audience respect and love. I want you to hold it, okay? Not too tight. And then I want you to bang it down.
Are you sure you want me
I want you to do it. I want you. Audience, you want the pizza to do it? Yes!
I'll do anything for the kids.
What's gonna happen is the pasta's gonna come through. Oh, the audience is loving this. Okay, go.
3, count me down.
3, 2, 1. Yes, he got it.
Is this all that we were expecting to happen?
That's how you open
I can
pasta.
think of far easier ways to do that without the drama. Just...
Okay, no, we want drama. Then, when you put your pasta...
I expected something magical.
It's the magic. Then, when you put your pasta in the water, do you put olive oil in your water?
I actually put the olive oil after I've put the pasta in the water. The olive oil then goes in.
Okay, you don't need the oil. Save the oil for something else. Okay? Nicely salted. Then you take your pasta, 2 hands, twist it.
Are you going to do something special?
And then you drop it. You see how it fans out?
That's special.
You see how it fans out?
That is far more special than what you had me doing
the energy, I'm actually getting hot, eh? The energy right now. Okay, as it cooks, the pasta's naturally going to fall down. It's not going to stick. It's not going to stick, okay?
How do you stop it from sticking? Is it because it's the bronze dye thing?
It's just how it is. Boiling water, a lot of salt, it's never going to stick, okay? When it's done, you give it a little kiss of olive oil, but you're fine.
Here's that ready prepared, ready sealed and packaged for you magic coming.
Because you work hard already.
All the time.
You don't need to be in a kitchen making the sauce.
I don't need
Mrs. Woolworths has done it for you.
She has absolutely thought of me.
It's everything in here. The cooked down tomatoes, the garlic, the spices, everything is in there. I don't know how long the segment is. I feel like we're doing this for 20 minutes. I'm going to keep on going. So it's so good. This, if you make nachos, pour this over instead of making a salsa. It is so delicious. Okay, this is going to come together. Your pasta's going to be done. All you got to do is top your pasta with the bolognese.
And then you deliver it to
audience. How easy was that, audience?
And every single one of you guys, audience, all of you socially distanced there, if you look under your seats, you will find there's an already
under your seats.
Plate of this goodness. Enjoy it. Ah, man.
What do you think? I'm going to borrow this basil from this one over here. If it wasn't COVID, I'd grab my fork and I'd go in there as well.
I'll tell you. Exquisite. It is exquisite, and you can get this deal and a whole lot more at Woolworths, and you can shop it in-store, online, or you can go on the Woolworths app for under 230 Rand, for about 230 Rand until the 8th of August. You have got all of these deals unlocked, especially for you, because Mrs. Woolworths has thought of you.
Thank you.
For this recipe, go on to www.woolworths.co.za. Thank you, Ken. It's the Woolies difference.
It's like the infomercial show today, you know? If you want great entertainment, stay with us on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso and S3. If you thought pasta was lekker, oh no, we've got a last performance from Skylar Clark, who's got something that is an exclusive for you right here in your Feel Good Breakfast Show. You heard so many songs. You've even heard of Boys to Men, but have you heard of Girls to Women? You're about to. Exclusive on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Here it is right now. Skylar Clark, take it away. Let's go.
stuck in a small town I left far behind at 18. And all the words you whispered in hallways laid heavy on my mind. How were you to know that I'd be way more than fine? 'Cause darling girls, they turn into women, and they remember the things you hoped that they wouldn't. Does it scare you now? I'm the right way round, handling all the things you couldn't, saying all the things I shouldn't. 'Cause darling, when you hope they wouldn't, girls turn into women. Let the chips fall where they may. I've got nothing left to say about it. But don't you dare come around and act like you had some part in what I did. 'Cause all those words you whispered in hallways laid heavy on my mind. You should have known from the start I'd be way more than fine. 'Cause darling girls, they turn into women, and they remember the things you hoped that they wouldn't. Whoa, does it scare you now? I'm the right way around, handling all the things you couldn't, saying all the things I shouldn't. 'Cause darling, when you hope they wouldn't, girls turn into women. Girls turn into women. Girls turn into women. Thank you.
Thank you! Thank you! Skylar Clark. Wow, that was an exclusive, by the way, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much. We got the exclusive. Just a little bit more about the song itself. I mean, it's quite deep. You felt like I felt the emotion in it as well. Is that where it's embedded?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah. I think it just goes out to all the beautiful women out there. Just know that you're amazing, you're strong, and you can literally do anything that you want to.
I love that. That's fantastic. Thanks a lot for your talents today. You were absolutely incredible. I want to get as many of your songs as I can. When is Girls to Women going to be available on streaming platforms? Because I want that now.
Very soon.
Very soon. Okay, that'll be great. But I mean, she's absolutely incredible. And I can tell you that we are going to try and sing like that in the next couple of moments. In fact, Graham and I, we took on a little song that we did with Mark Lottering and Vicky Sampson, two of the heavyweights, and we tried to sing with them. Why did we do it? For you. It's after the break.
I don't know why I have to start every one of these segments with a deep breath, but...
You do it often.
I do, but now it's made all the more intimidating because little old me, is going to get a chance to sing with Vicky Sampson.
Oh, well.
And Mark Lottery.
Just
And
Vix.
my Vixie is here.
Vixie thing
It's a
again.
massive pleasure, but the reason why those two are standing together is because they've recently released the most amazing collaboration. You performed it so beautifully on the show.
Thank you.
This Isn't Enough is available on all streaming platforms right now. Please download it. Help to amplify and spread that message. It is a very powerful song, so thank you so much to the both of you for releasing that into the world.
Thank you, Greg.
Now, are you ready to do karaoke?
Yes.
Because we're just an upbeat, funky crew, and we
Yes.
need it. I think the world needs to, right now,
Yeah.
celebrate. Mr. DJ, kick it off, baby.
Get it.
Kick it
Love
off.
this song. It's by Carl and the Gang.
This is celebration.
Carl and the Gang.
That's right.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh.
Let's celebrate.
Let's celebrate now.
Come on, right.
Celebrate.
Time, come on. Oh, yeah. Let's celebrate.
There's a party going on right here.
A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too.
We're gonna celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Celebration.
Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Come on now.
Celebration.
We're gonna celebrate and have a good time.
Here we go.
It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world. Come on!
Come on now. Come on.
The celebration. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on!
I'm singing with Vicky
Celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on! Come on. Oh, yes.
Celebration.
Celebrate good times. Come on. Hey, hey.
Let's celebrate.
There's a party going on right here.
Go, Carl.
A dedication to last through all the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're gonna celebrate and party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
Celebration. We're gonna celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world. Come on! It's a celebration. Wow. Us, yeah.
Go on back, go on back.
Come on now. Celebration. Come on now. It's a celebration. Oh, yeah. Celebrate good times. Come on.
Celebrate.
Oh, yeah.
Celebrate.
Let's celebrate.
Come on.
Yeah. Celebration. We're gonna celebrate.
Let's celebrate. We're gonna
Have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate.
celebrate.
It's alright. Oh, yeah. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright.
Baby.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Oh, this morning. Let's celebrate. Oh, yeah. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate now.
It's alright.
Lottery and Samson. Here we go now. Celebrate good times. Come on. Come on. It's a celebrate good times. Come on. Yeah, let's celebrate.
Come on and celebrate.
Celebrate good times. Come on. Come on, yeah.
Celebrate.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
Everything's gonna be alright.
Celebration. Celebrate now. Come on now. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. Come on. Celebrate.
Tonight,
Tonight.
everything's gonna be alright.
Let's celebrate. Celebrate good times. Come on, let's celebrate now. Expresso. Celebrate good times. Come on. Yes, baby.
So good.
Wow.
Hey, has it ever felt that good performing before, Vicky?
Very hot, but good.
Sure.
Alan, what a pleasure.
It was.
Two of the most gorgeous men on TV.
And Mark Lottering.
And Mark Lottering.
Wow. Wow.
One of the most gorgeous comedians on the planet.
Ever to grace a stage.
Do you know what this has done for me?
Yeah.
Sometimes you do things in life and then you realize
why you shouldn't do it.
Why you should not be on this path. This is not the direction I should be going in. And so I thank you for today.
Can I tell you what a pleasure it was being able to just sing with you?
The
How cool
pleasure
that
was all ours. I mean, yeah, you know, it's been an incredible day. I always love coming to Expresso because the team here has always been amazing and so inspiring, and I love that. And Graham, you and I go way back, and Carl, you and I also go way back.
Way back.
And Mark, you and I go even way back.
We love you guys so much for everything that you're doing within the entertainment industry, for each other, for other artists out there. Please keep flying that flag. I know times are incredibly challenging, so we love you guys. Thank you so much for singing with, and you were good.
Yes, it's a celebration on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Thank you so much to Mark Lottering and Vicky Sampson. It's absolutely incredible. Wow, let's celebrate. Come on now.
Let that celebration continue. Vicky Sampson, Mark Lottering, what legends. Being able to sing karaoke with them.
The stage with Vicky Sampson and Mark Lottering is
Should we ask Carl? Should we ask Carl how he felt about
how
that
did you feel about your performance there, brother? Come, jump in. Just step in here very quickly.
Oh, quick change, quick change.
Quick change. Okay.
Tell us how was the experience? We are here.
Sorry, to be up close though, Vicky Sampson smells like roses. Mark Lottering was too far for me to smell. But either way, they were fantastic. It was really, I think I've made it now. I'm adding to my bio.
Definitely.
I love that.
You look stress-free after that performance.
I am indeed. I'm so calm after the show today. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Let's celebrate the good times, guys. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow.
We love you. Stress-free, everybody. Stress-free.
Now.
Say it with steaming hot breakfasts, soul food Sundays, and slow-cooked dinners that will warm any winter. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.